beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day.
Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
It is trading season here in South Florida. Trades being made by our Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, and now possibly the Miami Marlins. Interesting. We knew we'd be talking about trades for the Marlins at this time of the year. How you doing? I am Dan Day, by the way. My cousin Vladimir Lewis with me. With the way the Marlins have been playing, now you got to start saying, are they going to be buyers or sellers? Probably sellers. Vlad gave me a look like, seriously, yeah, probably sellers. But at least they have entered the conversation of possibly being buyers and not sellers. Sandy Alcantara had another rough one last night. Someone told me, no, he actually pitched pretty well. Still won him, Vlad, for the New York Yankees. 6 innings, 5 runs, 4 strikeouts. Still won him?
Yeah, because our team's struggling right now.
You guys are struggling. I saw that Subway Series last night. This is a good part about this time of the year. If there is a good part, it's kind of slower. You can watch everything that happens. I'm going
to tell you what it was. The fact that there's, the Heat were done. Right? Like Heat news were done. The Jalen Ramsey trade happened the day after we were trying to figure out if, hey, is there a chance for him to come back?
Tyreek Hill said he's going to keep him.
Yeah, and Dan, the fact that you're listening to Tyreek Hill as if he's the voice of reason, makes I'm wondering about
After all these years, we've been fooled so many times by Tyreek. We're still holding on.
I'm wondering about you. You might need a checkup to see if you have any CTE or anything like that. But it's kind of slow right now. It's really slow. So yesterday, I actually looked at Joey Chestnut coming back for his Nathan Hot Dog return, and I watched baseball. There was an 11 o'clock in the morning game, the Nationals against the Red Sox. There was Yankees Mets Subway Series. There was some good baseball action, but yeah.
I mean, yesterday, I'm not even joking. I watched everything. I watched the hot dog eating competition.
Right.
There was nothing else on.
You watched probably the Club World Cup.
Oh, yeah. That Chelsea big win last night. Moving on. Beat Palmeiras.
I like the first game.
2-1.
What's that team? Al Hilal?
Al Hilal.
Al Hilal versus I forget their name. It's the Brazilian team.
Yeah.
The Brazilian team.
It's not Flamingo.
It's Palmeiras?
No, Palmeiras got beat by Chelsea
They
yesterday.
got beat Chelsea.
Flamingo or not a Flamingo, but something like that.
The Brazilian team, they beat them. Anyway, that was a good game. But it was pretty a mid.
I watched the Marlins game. I watched the Subway Series. I mean, of course, I was at Duffy's Implantation. Sabrina, Justin, Sean, all the guys. Hello. There's like 8 TVs. Oh, not 8. There's like 80 TVs. So literally, I watched everything. And I watched very closely too. So keeping up with everything. It was a good time. It was fun. Our Marlins are playing better. Heat and the Dolphins. I'm going to give them an incomplete report card right now. Time will tell. We'll just see how the trades and how everything works out.
What trade for Dolphins?
Dolphins. Duncan Robinson sign and trade this week.
Hey, man. Roz lied to you guys, man.
Oh, he didn't rebuild or whatever. He retools.
I don't even. I think y'all running the same squad back. Or if you are not running this, it's whatever you're adding is not going to be anything.
I'll be honest. I think they just don't have any choice. I don't think they want to run things back. I just don't think they have that much of a choice.
You Bradley Beal, the Bradley Beal and Miami Heat connection might finally happen.
We're going to talk about that soon enough, man. What is going on here that what would you call rattled some cages or, took the call on a Bradley Beal on the Suns buying his contract out and us picking him up.
I mean, that's not a bad move. You're going to get him on the cheap.
Yeah, I understand. Kyle Lowry, let's remember that one. Let's not forget Terry Rozier. Add Bradley Beal to the mix. That's Heat culture right there. Ooh, PSG and Bayern Munich playing right now in the Club World Cup. That is a big-time matchup right there. See who goes and moves on. And of course, tomorrow we got U.S. men's soccer. They're going to be playing. So why not? Let's just do the headlines real quick, and then we're going to dive into all this craziness that is happening. The Marlins did fall to the Brewers 6-5. Sandy Alcantara, 6 innings, 5 runs, 4 strikeouts. They play again today at 4:10. Cal Quantrill going to get the start for the Fish. Vlad, do you think Sandy Alcantara will get back to somewhat of his old form, or is he kind of not feeling it right now?
Oh, Sandy?
Yeah.
Sandy, it's going to take time for him to get back. I mean, it's Tommy John surgery, bro. Not everybody's going to is get back to the form that they were prior to the surgery. But any major surgery like that, it's not the first year that you're really looking at. You want them just to get back on the mound. It's probably 2026 where he gets to become Sandy again, or shoot him some bail. Maybe the second half of the season.
That's what I'm hoping.
He starts.
So let's do a little round table. We got our job shadower, Zach Horowitz from Indiana University. He's been at a lot of the Marlins games this year. Vlad, how many prospects, because we know Peter Bendix isn't trading Sandy Alcantara for a player, how many prospects could Peter Bendix get with Sandy Alcantara on the market when the trade deadline comes close? What would be a good prospect haul?
You probably want 4. You want 4 major top 50 or top 80 prospects in whatever team's minor league system.
All right, Zach, what do you think?
I think the answer is 3, and 2 of those are in the top 50. I think his right this year, I don't think he's been good enough to get the haul that they would have gotten in years prior, of course. I think he just needs a change of scenery or some time off. Okay. I think next year, if he's back with Miami, I think he'll be back into form.
Oh, okay.
That's my guess.
I say 4 top 100 picks. Peter Bendix, surprise us. Pull some magic out of a hat. Because if we look at some of the picks that we keep an eye on with the Luis Suarez, that's a different player. We got batting champion
Luis Arias.
That prospects have not been killing it exactly, but some of them are young, so we'll give them some time. We'll wait and see. So Marlins, they're one of the better teams in baseball right now. We'll see. Inter Miami, get this. They played their first MLS game since May 31st, Vlad. It's been over a month. Tonight, 7.
How many games do they owe?
Everybody's played about 20. We played 16, so we got 4 games in hand, basically.
Really?
Yeah. 4 games in hand.
So let me ask you this question then. Isn't there an MLS play all-star game?
Yeah, it's coming up. Messi might be one of the captains. Might be the captain.
See, I would make them play during the all-star break.
Well, the problem is you're going to have Messi, Suarez on that team.
They're asked out, but yeah, you owe me games, baby.
Messi, he is a finalist to be the captain of the MLS All-Star team, but he's opting out of the play All-Star game. How can he be your captain? Nonetheless, it's later on this month. It's against Liga MX All-Stars. It's going to be in Austin, Texas. Yeah, 4 games. They're going to have some tough stretches coming up. Messi has made the trip to Canada. And that
they're on the road tonight.
So if Messi makes the trip, Messi's going to play. So
they've had a week off.
True. Some would say 2 weeks off because they didn't put up much fight against PSG. But
not
going to talk about
it. It was a week ago today. They got their ass kicked.
Whew. That was what you call a no doubter. PSG playing right now. Bayern Munich, big game. 6 minutes in, scoreless. Former Dolphins safety Rashad Jones has allegedly been scammed out of $2.58 million.
Damn.
Former financial advisor and a female associate.
You could tell these are slow times, baby. When headlines is we're grabbing former Dolphins getting scammed on by.
Well, it's important to report that these things are happening.
I don't give a rat's ass about Rashad Jones. No disrespect, but I really don't.
You can give a rat's ass about Tua Tagovailoa.
What's up?
He's been ranked in the NFL's 91st best player, NFL top 100.
I did see that yesterday.
Last year at this time, he was 36th ranked.
The injuries. Mm-hmm. And they talking about what you did. Wait a freaking minute.
Now, before you get to anything else, remember they only released 10 at a time. So
I understand that. Okay. But last year, who was number 1?
We know who number 1 was.
It was Tyreek, right?
Tyreek Hill. He's going to have a drop this year. Let's go around. Let's roundtable it. Where do you think Tyreek Hill?
I think he's going to take the biggest drop in the NFL top 100 list.
Where do you think he's going to fall?
In the 70s.
Woo! Zach,
that's high. I was going to say about 45.
Nah,
50.
He's dropping the 70s. You're talking about last year because that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about your previous career. They're talking about who was one of the 100 best players.
They're talking about right now
of 20. Right.
Coming up this season.
Tyreek Hill, there was at least I can name 10 receivers that were better than Tyreek Hill last season.
So, but they're not judging you. They're judging you on who they think is best player
from the last year.
Well, yeah, just or for right now coming up.
Right.
So, yeah, you know what I mean. It's hard to say. They basically
Jamar Chase is gonna. We're naming wide receivers: Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson.
I mean, T. Higgins probably had a better season last year.
Pretty much similar numbers. Who else were better than Tyreek last year?
I mean, you could list a lot of
AJ Brown.
Could list a lot of people.
Malik Neighbors.
I'm telling you. Yeah. So you say the 70s?
I think he drops to the 70s.
Zach, you're gonna go.
I think they have 10 receivers ahead of him.
Right. So that's
So-
10 receivers ahead of him. And we're not even looking at the quarterbacks, the running backs, and the other players on the defensive
players,
end.
Yeah.
He's taking a major fall, bro.
Maybe I'm too high on Tyreek.
You
Hill.
are high on Tyreek
I got him
Hill.
in like 33, something
Nah.
like that. And that's a fall.
That's not nuh-uh.
Yeah, I said 50 something. I guess
I
we'll
did
find
not.
out in the coming
Bro,
days.
last season was he one of the top 100 play? To me,
He was
real
number
talk.
one.
No.
Oh, in the whole season.
2024.
With his body of work.
Right, the
Yeah.
2024 season.
Yeah, he's like in the 80s. Zach, where do you think he fell last year?
Last year, no, he was horrible.
Okay. Vlad?
He was horrible, bro.
Man.
Last season, the 2024 season, he was not good.
Tyreek, prove me right.
But-
Tyreek,
After the 2023 season, people had him number one. Last year.
he almost had 2,000
And-
yards a year before.
And let me ask you this. If Tua took a 58 spot drop, what do you think is going to happen to Tyreek?
Man's got jet fuel, man. He's beating Noah Lyles' brother in races. He's a culture changer now. I don't know what I'm talking about, man. I don't know. Tyreek, let's move on. We can go on about Tyreek forever. U.S. men's national team did defeat Guatemala 2-1 in the semifinals of the Gold Cup. They play Mexico, the final. That's tomorrow, 7:00. That is some must-see TV right there. The U.S. men's national team, we're going to get into it in a little bit. Kind of playing their B team, but those guys are playing hard, playing scrappy. And our guy, Diego Luna, may have just earned himself a spot on this U.S. men's national team.
I ain't going to hold you, bro. I'm kind of sick of the Gold Cup.
What?
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
How you talk?
Because it's always the same final.
Well, no, that's not true. Back in 2000, Canada won it.
Ooh, one time.
25 years ago. I'm just saying.
Dude, they're always going to have the U.S. and Mexico on opposite sides of the brackets for them to play.
Yeah, I know. That is interesting.
Come on, man. This
rivalry renewed, baby.
I'm
I'm
then why
watching.
don't you just have a rivalry and just say this is it? I don't need a tournament so that, yay, I can see Haiti get killed. Or, the Reggae Boys get killed. I don't want to see that.
Them Reggae Boys had a rough go.
That's what I'm saying. I don't need to see that. We already know what the end result's going to be.
But there were surprises. Guatemala defeated Panama. If you're keeping, tracking at home. All right, Mario Cristobal missed out on a 4-star Orlando area safety in Devin Jackson. He is committed to Oregon, but Miami's 2026 class still one of the best in the nation. We want to talk about Canes baseball? Why not? Team has new transfers. Richmond pitcher Ryan Bilka and Presbyterian catcher Jackson Huggas. Miami's transfer class, because they have ratings for everything now, Vlad. 10th in the nation. The transfer class, not the recruiting class. Transfer class, 10th in the nation. Get a guy from Presbyterian in Richmond. There you go. Reports are that the Heat did conduct talks on acquiring Bradley Beal from the Suns, but those talks dissolved. We're going to get into that, Vlad. We just can't quit some people. KD can't get away from the Heat talk, and he's never going to play here. And then Bradley Beal, always be linked to him, whether you want him or not. Heat do open Summer League today. Are you going to be watching California 4:30 against the Spurs?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
I will watch.
Okay.
Only because we need something to talk about tomorrow so that you could be all gassed and like, ooh, the Heat. This guy from Summer League, you do that a lot. You do that every year.
Yeah, and it's turned out. I told you Max Strus was going to be a great player. And I said, stop talking about Summer League. I said, Max Strus is balling. And everybody's like, oh, okay, whatever. Boom. Now he's a decent player on a decent team, on a good team. Khalil Ware.
It's Summer League still.
I know. And some of those Summer League games.
And we know these guys aren't going to be utilized by Spo. Spo don't use rookies.
That's true, too. But at least you get a good look at Kasparis Yakuchonis.
Dude, I'm not going to hold you. I have a question for you, speaking of Summer League. Do you think Triple J should play in the Summer League this year?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you and I, okay, I really do. And I think it's a little bit weird for a third year pro to play Summer League.
I'm not against it.
But after that second year, I don't, because remember he played only 2 games last year in the Summer League, and we were all questioning why he was even playing.
Right.
But I actually feel he might need to play Summer League this year.
Yeah, it's like sitting your guy down to the minors to just kind of get his timing and his rhythm and his confidence back.
But fam, 3 years, you're not supposed to be in Summer League in 3 years. But I think after your
we're
second
not asking
season,
for him to MVP of the Summer League. We're asking him to play a game or two. Just, get some run.
I don't know about a game or two.
Get some run.
I feel like he should play.
Maybe humble himself a little bit.
I feel like he should play 3 or 4.
Is Khalil Ware going to play any summer league? Probably not. But he says he wants to go out and prove that the Heat were right in keeping him off the trading block in the Kevin Durant trade talks. He's going to play great this season, he says. There you go. Sports Illustrated. Man, a lot of Debbie Downer headlines today. Maybe I'm just in that. It's been rainy in South Florida.
No, they're just writing or speaking their opinions, and sometimes opinions become facts. So if they're clowning the Dolphins or the Heat.
Oh, they're not. They're clowning the Panthers.
Panthers?
Yep. They say that the Panthers' 6-year, $31.5 million deal with Brad Marchand, one of the worst of the NHL free agency. They cite the length of the contract, his age, and how it's going to hit the salary cap. He's 37.
First of all, you idiots. He's only going to play 3 of those years.
I know. They act like he's going to play.
Then he's going to get brought out. But guess what? I'd rather buy out how much is it? 31 and
31 and a half.
So if 3 years, $5 million. So if I buy out somebody at $14 to $15 million 3 years from now, when the salary cap goes up, it's a great deal.
Yeah.
The salary cap is going up, and I'm not paying this guy who could have made nearly $8 to $9 million. But he wanted to stay here in the state of, they just hating. Now, this is what I love. This is full blast hate for the Panthers now. They are the team that nobody likes except for their fan base. Everybody hates them. Remember, we just thought it was Canada. Now it's the whole NHL.
No, because they're dominating.
Yeah, the dominance, right. They don't like the fact that their nucleus, I'm looking at it, their nucleus is 9 guys, right? Plus Bobby.
Of course.
Those 9 guys are signed till 2030, bro. So if you're an NHL exec, owner, president, general manager, you're looking at, wait a minute, how the hell did Bill Zito get his nucleus to sign for the next 5 years? And they play the style of hockey that you want your team to play, but you don't have the players, the personalities, and the coach to play that style. And now they're hating. I love it. Like and South Florida embraced the hate.
Reports are Brad Marchand on the open market could have fetched $10 million.
That's what I'm saying.
But not for 6 years, of course. They make it sound like,
no, he probably would have gotten like a 4-year. No. Because he does want to play. Probably wants to play till he's 40 or something like that. But he could have gotten a 3-year, $30 million deal somewhere, or 4-year, 40, right?
Sorry,
but he took what, 6 for 30?
Zach, I heard next year the parade's going to have a different route. Are you excited about that for the Stanley Cup?
I'm already planning where to park and where the same thing as this past
Well, they said
year.
they might be a little different. They might mix it up.
Are you serious?
I've heard reports that if, and I'm not saying that's a big if, I'm just saying if.
For a lot of those going to kick some ass.
No, it's going to be in that same general area, but they might kind of change some of the routing.
What do you mean some of the routing?
I don't know, bro.
What, they don't want to go by Elbow Room and all those bars and streets?
I don't know.
Las Olas is only Las Olas. It ain't like you can maneuver around like a lot from there.
Yeah, but maybe they'll start it somewhere else. And they got to end it. Vlad, you're asking about a mythological parade that may or may not happen, and that
there's a great chance that it could happen.
Just wait another year, maybe 2.
We're not waiting 2 years.
They got the core. Come on, they'll win one more at least.
They're winning at least 2 more.
I think so.
I would say realistically, and
they have a chance to do something that hasn't been seen since the 80s.
This is me not being like, oh, we live here in South Florida. This is me objectively looking at this team and saying easily they could win 2 more Stanley Cups.
I think so too. And not also
realistically.
And the fact that the NHL, the league, is showing how kitten they are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they're complaining and everything like that. They're showing to me that, they're kittens. So therefore, yeah, I think they're going to win 2 more because they have the league's on notice and the league is scared.
Yeah, you start wondering if the league's going to try to find some way to.
They tried because they were trying to take some of those core players, some key players like Ekblad could have left.
Yeah.
Sammy Bennett could have left. They could have offered them big money. So that's what teams usually do to try to get a player out from the situation that they're in. And none of these guys, they bit.
And also, once you win, teams usually overpay on your depth guys.
Right.
Like second or third liners, they're overpaying. These guys are signing back here.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. They want to be here. And they got the core. 2030, 2031. But I think they got to win it with Bobrovsky. I think he's 36 now. Like they got a couple of years left.
They
of
got
him.
2 more with Bob, but
Yeah.
I will say this: they do need to find a
replacement because Spencer Knight's
You
now.
know,
well, no, Spencer Knight's done.
I really like that new backup they got, Daniil Tarasov. Okay, he played like I think 60 career games. He's 6'6".
Holy
He
goodness.
is from Bobrovsky's hometown.
Oh, he's a Ruski.
His father was Sergei Bobrovsky's idol growing up. Do these not? The stars are aligning.
Yeah.
I think this guy has a shot.
Oh.
And when the Panthers played against him in the regular season, I guess he was the backup for Columbus. I think he let up 1 goal. I think I saw it. It was like 46 saves he had against Florida.
Wow. Okay. What was his name again?
Daniil Tarasov.
Remember that name. You heard it here first. Daniil Tarasov.
I hope we're right.
Let's hope so, man. But we got time with Bob. We'll be all right. A couple other quick notes. Joey Chestnut, Mickey Sudo walked away from everybody in the hot dog eating competition yesterday. Later today at 4:00, you get Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. I know Vlad's fired up about that one.
Of course.
And I actually watched,
is the semis here? One of the semis here or no?
I have not seen anything about it being here.
Because I know the finals in New York, I believe.
Right. I don't think so.
I was trying to figure out if one of the semifinal matches might be. They're done with South Florida until next year.
And then I watched a lot of Wimbledon yesterday too, by the way.
I did so too.
I watched Arina Sabalenka.
She was struggling the first round. The first set against.
I watched Coco Gauff get her tail.
Well, that was a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I was at a restaurant and it was the only thing on. And she did not look like herself. She admitted that there was just too quick of a turnaround from the French Open final.
What?
That's what she said.
Nah, you lost. Don't give me that, baby girl. I like you and everything like that, but there's tournaments before the French Open. Whatever you were doing, now if you weren't practicing, there was a media whirlwind. That's on you and your team. But the French Open is in May. The U.S. Wimbledon was what? July? Yeah. I'm not trying to hear that. You lost.
All right. Well, Yannick Sinner did win today. Iga Swiatek going to be playing later on today, so we'll keep an eye on all that. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. To celebrate Pride Week, Madrid held its annual high heel race where queens raced through the streets in heels no shorter than 6 inches. I would definitely watch that. I don't know if I'd go like to South Beach to watch it.
I'll watch paint dry.
You wouldn't be interested.
No.
I guess you and I can differ on that opinion right there.
I ain't trying to see no man running 6-inch heels.
Queens running in 6-inch heels.
Man.
If it's running by your house, you watch it.
No. Putting hurricane shutters around.
Jonnu Smith may have been.
Oh, he went off.
He might have been disrespected. He may be disrespecting the Dolphins. We're going to take a look at that next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM. Yeah, let it play out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's time to put in work.
let it go. It's a rainy day. Let's just feel it a little bit.
What would Pablo do? Should I do a wristband that says WWPD instead of WWJD?
What would Pablo Escobar do?
He didn't say Escobar. He just said Pablo.
PD Pablo?
Any Pablo. Pablo Torre?
Yeah. Pablo Lopez?
Pablo Lopez. There you go.
Try to think if I know a Pablo and what he is like. Interesting.
I like
Zach,
that. I like
do
that
you know
Peter Pablo.
Do you know a Pablo?
I used to play baseball with a kid named Pablo.
Was he
but
shady?
Pablo
or
Escobar?
Not Escobar. He was our shortstop.
Yeah, well, what did you think he was going to play?
Pablo Sandoval?
Pablo Sandoval. What would Pablo do? Trying to think. I got to know a Pablo somewhere.
He's definitely sling.
I just don't see a Pablo being like an uptight religious guy.
No, he's sling. I mean,
I did know a Pablo.
He's definitely pitching from the mound.
I knew a Pablo, actually. He was from Ecuador.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't shady, but he wasn't upstanding religious Bible thumper type either.
Hey, what would Pablo do? That's the name of the show.
That's for today. We got a couple themes we're going to work on today. You'll see as the show goes on. But, man, let's get Jonnu Smith. He's not coming home to Miami.
Nah, man. So Monday, Dan, right after we had the show on Sunday, we had a good 4 hours trying to talk about what's going to happen, what's happening with the Jalen Ramsey Miami Dolphins situation. We thought, well, at least you did think that with Tyreek talking to Jalen, that there was a chance maybe both sides realized that the other side is not greener, so maybe they would come back. But I told you now, unless there was a sorry and apology, these guys weren't happening.
And even that, now we're getting word that even
an apology
and a handshake wasn't enough.
So then Monday happens, and then Monday was a pretty eventful sports day. I will say, especially locally down here. And come to find out, Jalen gets traded, and you're getting Micah Fitzpatrick back, but also a deal that we knew about early, a couple of months ago, when the negotiations for giving Jonnu a contract extension, it wasn't working out. We heard that Pittsburgh wanted him, and we probably figured once Aaron gets signed to the Steelers that the deal would happen, and everything happened that Monday, bro.
Yes, so Jonnu Smith, part of a trade with Jalen Ramsey as he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. In return, Minkah Fitzpatrick, he is coming home to the Miami Dolphins. Jonnu Smith, though, talked a little bit about the whole situation afterwards, and he feels as though he was kind of disrespected by the Dolphins. Talking to our guy, Teron Armstead, who's getting into broadcasting, he said, now in Pittsburgh, I'm in a situation where I'm appreciated. You always want to be where you're most valued and appreciated, and that's the situation I find myself with Pittsburgh. He went on to say, I didn't foresee this happening with how the season went. For me individually, I had aspirations of ending my career in Miami, with it being home for me, my children, my family.
FIU.
But I understand the business side of it, and it didn't work out. I'm grateful. I got no ill feelings towards Miami and nobody in the organization. Then he goes on, since he has no ill will, like we always say, no disrespect, which means here we go.
A lot of disrespect coming.
I got no man business, no ill will. We started the conversation in January with Miami, and obviously they started giving me the runaround. We'll get back to it. Obviously, they had some things they had to address, and I understand that. Once again, no disrespect. I was patient with them throughout the whole entire process, and eventually it came to a point in time where they told me that they just can't do it, and they weren't economically in a position to pay me like a Pro Bowl tight end.
So
he was making he was gonna make $4.64 million this year.
And after the career, after the numbers he put up last season, he definitely needed a raise. And the top tight ends are making over $10 million a year.
Yes.
So I get it. He's right. But what bothers me is that the Dolphins went crazy spending money last season on extensions when they shouldn't. Remember, you and I, we both were here last around this time saying, I don't know if you want to give that extension to number 10. Because I said he's already, that thing's it's gonna wear out. That love affair is gonna wear out sooner or later. He gave an extension to Jalen Ramsey. Fine, that was gonna be a 1-year deal. You had to give, Tua was your franchise quarterback. You gave him the deal.
I understand that one.
Right. And you had it was Waddle time. Waddle had to get his extension. But if I ain't remember the guy, you and I covered this team last year. In 2024, their best players were Calais Campbell,
Gone.
Jonnu Smith.
Gone. Defensively, Jalen Ramsey was one of our best players. Gone.
So what if and I'm not, but if I'm a Dolphin fan, I'm thinking, wait a minute. The money that should have been given to the players that actually gave a damn, you're not giving it to them, and now you're letting them walk. And then now you got all these guys here that you gave the money to that seem like they wanted just to get their bag and be done.
Okay, so Jonnu Smith, I don't think it was personal. Honestly, I don't think it was a personal thing. I think he's a victim of circumstance.
No, it's
his
bro.
team. My hands are not open anymore. I'm not
Fam,
palms
I
out.
say, dude, last week after every damn game, I had to come up. Me and Calais and I were the only ones going to the media, talking, keeping this boat afloat. And you can't show me no love. I'm your quarterback's safety valve. Okay? I am your quarterback safety valve, but you rather not give me extension, but you're going to give money. You rather make a trade for a guy who every time he plays in a big city, something's going to happen.
Dolphins kind of distracted him a little bit too and played around with him saying, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Just keep playing well. We'll get to it. And then
he played well. He's from FIU. He played at FIU. He was great. He was great for the organization, great to the media, the whole nine. And I'd rather get Darren Waller, a guy who, retired and wanted to be a rapper.
Well, okay. Do we want to get into the whole Darren Waller situation?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what Chris Greer is thinking, or maybe it's just what I'm thinking. Trade off Jalen Ramsey, doesn't want to be here, not going to play for us.
That had to go. That had to happen. That I agree with. And to me, if you get Minka back, that's okay.
Fair, I'll take that.
That's fair, because here's the thing, Cousin. I'd rather have a safety, a top 5 safety, so that he can help the young cornerbacks than have an older cornerback trying to help these safeties. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand, yeah.
So I'd rather that. That was to me, that's a good trade.
Good. So then you lose Jonnu and you say, what the hell is going on here? Why are we getting, basically nothing back for him? Then you see they sign Darren Waller, who's been out of the league
traded for Darren Waller.
They traded us conditional 6th round pick, got back a 7th round pick. Okay, conditional 6th round pick. Darren Waller. Here's the thing. What you're thinking is, maybe you feel as though you've upgraded. And I know Minka Fitzpatrick last year and everything. He's only had 1 interception, and he's
the best. He's
still one of the best safeties.
He's the top 3 safety in the game right now.
Right. So you get you might even halfway win between Jalen Ramsey and him. Now you're hoping you get Jonnu Smith, you get the money off the books. Darren Waller.
Dan, you automatically win off this one thing. One guy's 28, the other guy's 30.
I understand. But then you get Darren Waller, and you're hoping Darren Waller, he's had his issues, substance abuse problems. Hopefully he's overcome that. I think he lost his mind and tried to make terrible music and got out of the league because of his divorce with Kelsey Plum. We all know Kelsey Plum, big-time NBA All-Star.
She's so adorable.
Player. Yeah, she left him.
Because he was spazzing out.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So Dan Day.
But
my guy, family.
I'm going to finish my thoughts.
all right. Are you going to finish your thought? I just have one question for you. If a guy with substance problems couldn't maintain in Las Vegas, a guy with substance problems couldn't maintain in New York, what makes you think a guy with a substance problem or had a substance problem is going to maintain in South Florida?
All right, let's do both sides of it. Let's say Darren Waller comes in, gets focused, buys into everything, and gets back to his old self, his former self. He's an all-pro.
I think the Raiders thought that too. That didn't happen.
I'm saying.
I think the Giants thought that too. That didn't happen.
He realizes, look, I got to turn over a new leaf. I got to get focused. He returns to his former self, which is an all-pro.
So he decided he wanted to be Kodak Brown.
You win this trade. Now that's the other side. if you have substance abuse problems and relationship problems, and maybe some discipline,
And South Florida is the place you want to
maybe
go
some
to.
discipline problems inside and outside of the Dolphins locker room, probably not the best place. Zach, do you believe that this organization is the type of organization that can give someone like Darren Waller the focus and structure that he needs?
Vlad's shaking his head. I think I'm in
I'm not asking
agreement with
Vlad.
him. I don't think they're in. I hope Darren Waller's changed it personally. Like from a personal standpoint, he's got to figure it out. I mean, he retired for a reason. So now that he's back, get into real form again. Like you're a professional athlete. Let's go.
Fam, he was just spitting a verse like a couple of weeks ago. He was in the
He
studio.
needs to let that go.
And he
I'm
was
sorry.
podcast. Like everywhere you see him, every time you would hear Darren Waller, it was like
He needs
some
to let that go, man.
cheesy video, or he's podcast, like on some podcast trying to promote whatever track he just performed.
Is there a way that he can live up to? I'm just saying this. If he lives up to 75% of the production that Jonnu Smith had, that's a huge win for the Dolphins because they can find other ways to get the ball to other players, hopefully, and fill up that production. That's a win. Darren Waller, 75% of the production Jonnu Smith had.
Yo, I've never seen a season. It's been a long time I've seen a Dolphins season where there's a lot of questions, bro.
We'll get to the Heat later too. We got a lot.
We'll get to the Heat, but the Dolphins have a lot of questions. And the number one question is, okay, we're talking about
what's the
Darren Waller.
Wait, what is the number one question?
O-line.
Oh, we just totally overlooked probably the most important
The
thing.
O-line. Because if the O-line is healthy, that means you give Tua
Everything
time.
changes.
And Tua gets time, you can give. And guess what? Everything I've just said about Darren Waller would be, I would have to take it back.
It's so funny. And look at the Philadelphia Eagles. If the O-line and the D-line take care of business, everything else just falls into place.
I don't care if Jalen Hurts is 11 for 18 for 99 yards. I don't care.
You don't care if the secondary has Cater can cook back there every down, trying to make stops. If the O-line and the D-line.
If the D-line's getting pressure, you know what I'm saying, and O-line is protecting, giving Tua time to throw the ball, yeah. But we don't believe that.
A team that has pretty much shown that they're not willing to pay these big contracts. They tried it last year, pay everybody, make them happy. A happy team's a winning team. That didn't work. Now they're like, you know what?
This is a rebuild, bro.
The only problem is now what happens with Zach Sealer?
Now you're going to have to give him the money.
We've said that about Christian Wilkins. We've said that about everybody. Jonnu Smith. What happens with Zach Sealer? That's for another day and another time, but ooh.
Well, the O-line is healthy and intact and form a good chemistry, then everything would be that a lot of questions will be answered, a lot of stress will be relieved. But if not, yeah, bro. Because to me, as an outsider looking in, I'm thinking this is a soft rebuild, bro. Not even a soft rebuild, it's a rebuild.
Look,
because you're not signing the main guys who were really productive for you last season.
And your leaders, by the way. Let's not overlook that. And if you say that's not important, well, a team that says they're changing
that's the
culture,
question. Who is the leader of this team going into 2025?
It has to be Tua Tagovailoa and Zach Sealer. It has to be. It has to be.
I don't know if I'm Zach. I want to lead if I know they're about to give me some money.
Minka Fitzpatrick. But he's new. When I say new, he's a new addition.
His second run.
Second go round.
Yeah, he wasn't with this regime.
Right. Yeah, so he's new. Damn. I'll be an optimist, though. We won this trade.
What trade?
The trade, Jonnu Smith and
Minka you lost 2 for 1. That's not, you didn't win.
But you got Darren Waller.
You didn't win.
I'm not going to say I'm high on Darren Waller because
he gets high.
I get the joke. You beat me. A lot of question marks. Not exactly the way you want to enter or even enter camp with a lot of question marks.
Man, his ass is on the foreman right now.
Mike Florio said he is on the hottest of hot seats in the NFL.
And it seems like every day it's just the degrees getting hotter and hotter, just raising up. We're just turning the knob on that grill.
So Tua, we need you to stay healthy and be the best Tua you can be a leader of this team. And I guess Minka Fitzpatrick and Zach Sealer can lead this defense.
I don't think the defense will be that bad this year.
Anthony Weaver worked
he worked magic last year.
Right.
I don't think it will be like I said. If there's a lot of questions.
What if things get nasty with Zach Sealer?
What do you mean nasty? Like he doesn't come to camp because he wants a contract?
Yes, sir. Which I don't blame him. Honestly, I'm not one of these guys like these guys need to honor their contract.
I didn't think about that.
I don't blame him, man.
I did not think about that.
You have lived and died for this team.
I didn't think about that. And that's true. And if you've what's the
Way
term?
overproduced.
You've overproduced, you've performed your contract. That's the word.
Absolutely.
If you've outperformed your contract and you're starting to get paid and you've seen what's going on, they need to do that with Sealer. They need to sign him after that nastiness with Christian Wilkins. Now, mind you, Wilkins did get hurt last year.
We're going to keep those receipts. No, we kept a receipt on Christian Wilkins. We're keeping receipts on Jalen Ramsey and
Ramsey was paid already.
No, but we're keeping receipts on how he plays, whether we should have kept him or we couldn't.
I mean, he was
and Jonnu Smith.
He was going to stay. That's a little That's more of.
I warned you about Christian Wilkins, though.
No. What, he got hurt? I'm not.
Well,
somebody gets hurt. Somebody gets hurt, bro.
Were his numbers down? Yes or no? Last year
was his numbers down?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I told you we're going to keep an eye on Christian Wilkins. We're not just going to forget about him and say, "Oh, we should have kept him." I'm going to say, let's see how his numbers play out and whether it was the right thing or the wrong thing to pay him the money.
And I could say the same thing about giving to it at a 5-year extension.
Yes, we keep receipts.
Okay.
I'm keeping a receipt on Jonnu Smith because maybe it's in the end of the day, maybe not the worst thing. Maybe I'm too high on Darren Waller. Once again, I don't need the joke.
Why you? But it's just you always anything that your team does. You just always got to look at it like glass full.
Well, you got to look at both sides.
No, I look at it at I look at it in reality.
So
it stunk. This is a stink. This trade stinks.
305-567-0560. Zach Sealer, would you be mad at him or upset with him if he sat out camp because he wants to get paid?
I wouldn't be upset with him.
Well, let's go to our other Zach. Zach, would you be mad at Zach if he sat out this training camp because he wants to get paid?
No, because he needs to be. And he's the best guy on the defensive line. And I think, like you said before, with like Christian Wilkins, they didn't pay him. I think there's one guy that's going to decide if they're going to pay him or not. And I think it's Kenneth Grant, the guy from Michigan that they just drafted. If he can fill Zach Sealer's shoes at the defensive tackle spot, then they might let him walk just because.
Whew. That's the heart and soul of your team. I have no problem with Zach Sealer getting his money because this is the last year. He needs to get paid. So maybe not. Other people say honor your contract. Stop all this. So 305-567-0560. You can jump on the YouTube and Twitch and let us know.
Oh, speaking of Zach, shout out to Zach Wilson. He got married.
Yes, we saw that. He has a TikTok famous wife now.
Oh, his wife is TikTok
famous. They got married in New York.
Nice.
TikTok famous.
I wonder if any Dolphins went to his wedding.
I looked at the pictures on TikTok. I did not see any. Still indoctrinating himself to the team, I guess. I mean, he really hasn't had a lot of time to be around the guys, to be honest.
I thought he would have been okay.
There's been the OTAs and that's kind of it. So okay. So yeah, that's about all we got on Zach Wilson. I'm not going to go too much deeper other than hopefully he never plays a real meaningful down for the Miami Dolphins. But that's
Robert Mueller's funny. He said Dan Day's so positive. He runs east looking for a sunset.
Every day, man. Every day. That's why I live by the beach. I like it. We're going to get into what I like next here on 560 WQAM. Ooh, Vlad, who's singing this song?
Dirty Money.
I knew there was an angle in that one right there. We're going to get to what I like, some of the stuff that we liked over the past 24 or 48 hours. So in the sports, I do want to say this. I do love the 4th of July, and I know that we've got Keep It a Buck, so maybe I should save for Keep It a Buck. But man, yesterday was probably the most mid 4th of July I've ever had here in South Florida. I was in South Beach. I feel really bad. If you or your family came into town, like let's just say Thursday, and you're going to have a weekend here in South Florida, and you're going to leave on Sunday, 4th of July, it's going to be awesome. You have had the worst stay here in South Florida because it's been rainy and nasty every single day. So,
yeah, nasty weather going on.
And I was in South Beach, and I saw some of those families that they're leaving today or tomorrow, and they're like, this was not a very.
And this would have been an ideal.
Vacation.
I mean, yeah, 4th of July fall on a Friday's ideal weekend. Like this
Perfect.
is great.
Perfect. You take off like a day or two from work. You get off like 5 days. Not happening. Let's get to some what I like. U.S. men's national team have, some would say, a big game tomorrow against Mexico in the Gold Cup final. Trying to figure out from the guys from ESPN why it's such a big matchup.
Remember a key component here. This final against Mexico for Mauricio Pochettino and the USMNT is the final competitive game before the World Cup. After this, it's all friendlies. So this is a key game against a rival because it's going to be about morale boosting, confidence boosting, both for the team and the fan base. Because let's be very honest here, I have not been impressed with the USMNT under Mauricio Pochettino. Now, there's a few caveats. The USMNT, this is their B team. Okay, so they got to figure that out. And they're playing in Houston. So Mexico are heavy favorites. But this win could mean a big boost and morale for the USMNT.
Very interesting right there. A lot to unpack. So it's the last competitive match before the World Cup, which is we know next year. Some of the games will be here in South Florida. We don't know who's playing yet here in South Florida, so don't get too crazy on us. Also, we're playing with our B team. It is Pochettino, kind of the beginning of his reign here in the United States. It's in Houston, so it's almost like a home game for Mexico.
I mean, it's neutral. It's a neutral site game.
Let's do that.
Let's just say that.
I've loved this B team.
But if this is the B team,
I love this team.
Why am I going? If this is the B team and I don't got my best players, how is this supposed to be an important game? If I get to the final with my B team, knowing that my 8 guys aren't there, I should feel proud that my B team got to the final. Yep. And if I include my top guys in there, we'll have a good team going in.
Well, that's what he's saying for morale boosting.
But he's saying that ain't no morale boosting because I can say that if Mexico's playing with their best players,
some of their best players, yes,
and I'm not playing with some of my best players, then it's not. And I beat them. The fact that I got to the final, I'm going to be confident.
Well, the other thing is
they don't like the coach, by the way, the U.S. men's national.
They don't like
team.
Pochettino?
They're not a big fan.
This is another thing. Like he said, and a lot of people are saying he has kind of not impressed as much as the head coach early in his tenure. But if you can win with the B team in a rivalry game and hold a cup up, then maybe that can inspire some confidence into Pochettino, see how things go. I've loved this B team. Diego Luna has been absolutely fantastic. Has probably worked his way onto the U.S. national team at the World Cup. It's just fun to see these guys play with heart and play hard and with no agenda other than just to play hard. So we're good. Ooh, no hitter, Vlad. We talked about this the other day, Vlad. We're like, will we ever see another no hitter? Well, maybe not so much in the major leagues, but it happened in the minor leagues.
A ball and 2 strikes on Ehrman. Walsh ready, and the pitch got him. 27 up, 27 down. Perfection for the Greensboro Grasshoppers. Christian Curtis went the first 6. Jake Shirk the next 2. And Mike Walsh the final inning. 27 up, 27 down. The Greensboro Grasshoppers celebrate a perfect game out on the diamond here at Ripken Stadium. An absolute masterpiece. Curtis to Shirk to Walsh. Absolutely incredible.
All right. So Zach, come on in right now and tell us Greensboro Grasshoppers, what is their classification?
They are a high A baseball team. So they're single A. These are guys that are just out of college, or I don't even really know, but there were 3 of them that combined for, I think it was a perfect game.
There was an error in there.
Oh, it was. Okay, it was a no-hitter. But 3 guys combining for it is not as cool. But The Greensboro Grasshoppers, good on you. Congratulations.
Sad times, man.
I like
slow times.
I'm talking about the announcer. First of all, I know he's trying to put a reel together, but like, okay, like pull back a little bit. Absolutely amazing. Wow, incredible. Okay, man, calm down. It's one single A baseball, and it was 3 pitchers. Okay, that's okay. Bill Belichick, you've heard of him. He's going to be coaching North Carolina. Football, college football at that. What are the expectations? What can we expect? Heather Dinich, some of the great people over at ESPN discussed.
North Carolina and new head coach Bill Belichick will make the ACC championship.
I am not convinced of that at all. I do think Bill Belichick is going to elevate this program. It's been dormant for a while, and it's time to regenerate. North Carolina is a very good football school, and I know that surprised most people, probably including even in the Tar Heel State. But 8 wins is very doable, maybe more if he gets lucky. Last time I was up here, Dan, about a month ago, I fired Bill's girlfriend. I'm not doing that again. I've caught a lot of flack. I'll leave that to Heather.
Yeah, Heather, what would be a successful season for Belichick at UNC?
Listen, stay out of TMZ, okay?
Oh,
Enough of these off-season headlines. Don't get embarrassed on the field or off of the field. And the reality is, when I look at Belichick, I feel like the intimidation aura has disappeared. That's the main story right now for me. As far as on the field, they are looking up at Clemson and Miami, if not several other teams in the ACC. But if Clemson is the team to beat, North Carolina is still an afterthought, even with Belichick as the head coach when it comes to football right now. Lots of proof.
And of course, he's never coached in college either. Paul, like what kind of stuff is he gonna run into here that maybe even he's not expecting in terms of challenges in the college football season?
I think everything. I mean, he's about to go to ACC Media Days where you actually have to be a human being, something Bill Belichick has never been during his NFL career. I think he will struggle with that. I think he'll have a hard time talking to some radio guy from Greensboro, North Carolina. He's never done that, and you have to do that to be successful in college. And I still think he's on a learning curve. Lombardi helps it from the GM position. I still don't think Bill understands the nuances of the game, but he's smart enough to win 8 games, which is really all he has to do.
All right. First of all, I like that they say Miami's going to be better than North Carolina. I also like that Danny Rabinowitz from the Joe Rose Show is going to be at those media days, ACC media days, so he can talk to Bill Belichick, some radio guy from Miami maybe. But, dude, Vlad, 8 wins is not successful for Bill Belichick, who some would argue is the greatest coach of all time.
Yes, it is.
To go from the New England Patriots.
So you're talking about his first season in college football, a sport. Yeah, it's football, but it's college. He's dealing with amateurs instead of pros. If he wins 8 games, yes, it's a successful season.
Not to me.
Well, that's you.
I say you got to go to the ACC championship.
No, he doesn't look at it that way. Nor does North Carolina.
Has he lost his edge then?
No, he hasn't lost his edge. He hasn't played. He hasn't coached. We haven't seen the man coach in 2 years.
So it's one of those things like we do with Mario Cristobal, give it time?
That's what you wanted to do? So, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. Bill Belichick, I think he holds himself to a higher standard, though.
Yeah, but he doesn't. This is not a sport that. This is his first time entering. This is not a sport that he has like.
It's weird. I don't know what he's thinking or doing. I'm not saying it's crazy. I'm just saying I don't understand Bill Belichick. He never gives us enough, so we don't know. But
that's the thing. So you'll never know. So that's why we have to speculate. But all these speculations could mean nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're just speculating because he's not going to give much. And I like the fact that he doesn't give much.
I like that. No, I don't have any problem with that.
And he should and he'll be able to instill that to these players. I'm not thinking that he's going to fail. And to me, 8 games will be good because you got to understand it's not like the players that he drafted. He's not drafting these players.
He can recruit them though.
He can recruit them, but he didn't draft them. He didn't sign them in free agency. This is his first year. Give him some time. Okay. But look, was he successful in New England out the blue?
No.
Okay, so then why can't we, he wasn't successful in Cleveland out the blue. So why should we expect him to be successful in his first year in North Carolina? And mind you, him winning 8 games and going to a bowl game is successful for North Carolina.
So it's
what was their record last season?
I don't know. I don't follow
exactly.
I know they lost to NC State. I just like the fact Bill Belichick might get tripped up in a game and, like, let's say UNC loses to Eastern Carolina. I'll be like, whew, man. Last but not least, tonight, going to be at the Kaseya Center for a concert. Hombres He going to be performing. Vlad, give it a listen. Tell me what you think.
What kind of this is Hispanic Beach Boys? This is the La Playa Hermanos?
I'm going to be the youngest person there by 20 years, right?
30.
Dan's not going to know any of the words, just be bobbing his head up and down.
That's
what it's got to do,
bro.
They were a big band in the 80s and 90s from Spain. I'm going to be the youngest person there by 20 years.
Exactly.
I can't believe it starts at 8 o'clock. I'm not even messing. Like,
yeah, they got to get Bobby. They got to get home. They got to be in bed by 9:45.
I did not prep Vlad or Zach on this, and Vlad called them the Hispanic Beach Boys.
Yeah, La Playa Hermanos.
The G-Men. Hombres He.
Los Playas Hermanos. Or Las.
So if you're going tonight, look for me. I'll stick out like a extremely sore thumb. Vlad, if I have an extra ticket, do you in?
No.
Okay. Back with headlines next, 560 WQAM. Fourth of July weekend, there's just some things that are synonymous with the 4th of July. Hot dogs, hot dog eating competition. That was on TV yesterday. Baseball. Got to see some baseball on the 4th of July. Marlins, good game yesterday against the Brewers. Came up a little bit short. fireworks. I'm sure you saw fireworks in the sky. And according to ESPN now, a new tradition on the 4th of July, the Savannah Bananas. Real quick, Zach Horowitz, he's job shadowing us from University of Indiana. Are you a Savannah Bananas fan?
I haven't seen it. I see it on TV or a couple. It's for like the younger generation.
Man, get these Magic Mike wannabes out of there, man. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I saw recently they wanted to take over to start the College World Series in Omaha. They wanted to play a game before the real game starts. They want this to be a tradition. Now they want to play July 4th. Like,
ESPN put them on prime time ahead of baseball, real baseball. So we came to the realization last night on the 4th of July.
They played last night?
Prime time, baby.
At what time?
Who needs Mets, Yankees? We can put on Savannah Bananas and
So I had to watch Mets and Yankees on the MLB
Network.
MLB Network.
So you can see a bunch of Chippendale dancers.
So I could see some Chippendale, some down the Thunder from Down Under type of guys.
Yeah.
And a fat ass umpire who's twerking during the middle.
Yeah.
Man. Please, man.
Playing against a team called the Firefighters that are dressed, of course.
Come on, man. There's so much sexual innuendos out here. It's ridiculous.
I mean, we came to the realization last week that we don't like the Savannah Bananas, and we're not entertained by the Savannah Bananas. And if you gave us free tickets, we wouldn't go and fight the crowds to see the Savannah Bananas.
I actually want to see a baseball game.
Yeah. It was so refreshing to go to a real game this week, and we saw the Marlins defeat the Twins 4-1. That was fun.
That was fun.
And I thought I was going to get backlash. Like, how the hell do you say something bad about the Savannah Bananas? Remember we talked about it? And I was like, oh, I'm going to get texts. I'm going to get calls. I'm going to have people stopping me.
No, I think there's people that agree with us.
And I'm going to get this. You don't understand it. They sell out 100,000 person stadium in Clemson the other day. I was like, oh God, this is a hot take. Immediately, my phone starts blowing up. 100% people saying 100% agree with you. I turned on the TV. It was on. I turned the TV off. Vlad and I have gone around this week. Not one person has come up to us and been like, no, man, Savannah Bananas are awesome.
They stink.
It's really, really, I mean, I don't know why I'm angry at them. No, I am angry at them for the product they're putting out there. It's so much less baseball and so much just, you said sexual. And when did it become so sexual?
Probably thanks to TikTok. They do all these dances.
It's ridiculous. Like, I don't need to see all these dances.
Nobody wears sleeves and they got guns. And I was like, okay. And they're not really good baseball players. Zach, you played high school baseball.
So there are some guys.
Right.
I think they are all former professional players or college players. So there is talent out there. The one thing I do like when they do a backflip and catch a fly ball, I think that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
But the dances to stop the game, I'm not a fan of.
That's the point. I don't want to see the home plate umpire during the middle of the sixth inning, in between innings, between the top and bottom of the inning, twerking.
Yeah, I don't mind the catching balls, backflips, turning double plays. I don't mind the guy hitting a home run on stilts.
Dude, if you want to do N1 stuff, I'm cool with that. It's just the dancing.
I don't mind if a fan catches a foul ball, it's an out. That's okay. It's the other nonsense that just those. One of these days there's going to be like a wolf running around on the field and stuff like that. Like, holy goodness.
The one good thing that I'll say, they do lose. It's not like the Harlem Globetrotters.
It's not scripted.
They lose games. I think they lost more than they won last year.
Well, they lost me as a fan. I mean, as a viewer. Whew.
Never had me and never will.
I never really watched. And then the other day we kind of watched, and that was enough. And like I said, I have gotten no pushback about this. You can push back 305-567-0560 unless you're on a bachelorette party or you're taking your third grade son.
Fam, it looked like Dancing Bear.
It was. But the thing is this, it's okay, whatever, but don't put it on prime time on the 4th of July instead of a Mets-Yankees game. Goodness gracious.
You damn right I'm not going to complain about twerking at a club. Because twerking at a club is that's where the twerking is supposed to be done. And by the opposite sex.
Yeah.
I don't want to see men twerking.
Yeah, why don't they have female umpires then?
Yes.
I think that's sexist.
That is sexist.
I'm calling for the Savannah Bananas to have at least some female twerking refs.
Yes.
They can all twerk, but I need variety.
Dan, the females that they have on there, They're the banana nanas. They're like 70-year-old women that sing the 7th inning stretch. That's all the women that are incorporated.
So I got to see nanas?
I don't like this. Savannah Bananas, I don't like what you're doing.
Nah, Mrs. Met.
That's a little too cutesy, too. You know, oh, we got the Savannah Nanas, and then they're old women, and then all the guys are these ripped Chippendale dancers. Oh, no, man. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it. I don't even want to fight the crowd. Like I said, you give me free tickets, I'm not going.
And it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, baby, want to go do the Savannah Banana game?
Man, no. And then I mean, heaven forbid, they're sold out to the gills. You're at the very, very top. You don't even know what's going on.
Well, think about the towns they're playing in. They're playing podunk towns, man.
No, I mean they sold out twice the Lone Depot Park here in Miami.
Really?
Yeah.
And the Clemson, the football stadium, 100,000, and the Tennessee Titans, the most recent one.
So they're in Nashville bachelorette party.
I kind of figured that would be the that would be the core audience. That would be the demographic.
Big crowds, man. It's going to be interesting to see because it seems like there's now starting to be some backlash against the Savannah Bananas. If like a year or two, we look back on it and say that was a crazy time when the Savannah Bananas were real popular.
Yeah,
and now they're going to be like
they'll be popular as the ABA.
Yeah, there you go. Let's get to some real headlines because we're talking about fake baseball. Marlins, they're a real baseball team. They lost to the Brewers though 6-5 yesterday. Sandy Alcantara 6 innings, giving up 5 runs.
What inning was it?
Striking out 4.
What was his bad inning? Because there's always one inning with him. I didn't watch the game yesterday. I was probably watching other things, but there's always with Sandy, there's always an inning that he's not.
It was the 4th inning.
It's always between the 4th and 5th inning where he gets shaky.
He was doing well, and then he gets into like a 3-2 count or something, and he throws a meatball right down the middle.
Oh, yeah.
And then in that inning, also there's a ground ball. Like he probably should have fielded it. It hit off his ankle, and it rolled past the second baseman into like shallow right field, and they score 2 more. They go down 5-2. It was, and then the Marlins ended up tying it up. Otto Lopez had another home run to tie it at 5.
Been great.
And then they lost 6-5. So I also got to say, I don't know if in sports there's something that you can classify as like a great loss. Yesterday was a great loss.
It wasn't bad. And remember, in the bottom of the 9th, we came back. Jesus Sanchez got the walk. We had 2 men on.
Yeah, a 10-pitch walk. They had 2 outs. Xavier Edwards had a single. Jesus Sanchez, a 10-pitch walk. It was a great loss.
There is nothing in sports.
That was the most exciting.
There's nothing in sports where you can say is a great loss.
And one more thing,
there's no great loss in sports.
There were 17,000 people at Lone Depot Park, and they were all on their feet for Jesus Sanchez at bat.
That was the most exciting walk I've seen in a long time. He's like
17,000 yesterday.
Yeah,
17.
It was a big crowd. The fireworks and everything.
How many tickets were really sold?
No, it was
the whole lower bowl was really crowded.
It was packed for the Marlins especially. But man,
they messed up. They should have had it at 4:00, like we said.
Yeah,
it was the 3rd highest attendance of the year. The first one was opening day, of course. Number 2, Flanagan's Fest.
Oh,
that was last week. That was like a couple of weeks ago.
And
Flanagan's Fest was like 23,000. That was good.
Yeah, but Jesus Sanchez was like yelling back at the pitcher, like, I see what you're. Well, he wouldn't say it in English, but I know what you're doing. It was so exciting. I was like, WWE meets baseball. Well, I can take that. The Savannah Bananas, I can't, but like, you should have seen like Jesus Sanchez, like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, thank God he walked. Thank God he walked, man, because if he just struck out, I'd have been embarrassed for him, man, because he was peacocking.
I don't mind the peacocking.
That's funny.
That's good. I mean, clearly that might mean he knows the pitcher. They might have some type of relationship.
This guy was throwing 101 too.
Yeah, but this is the kind of thing you need. Like the Marlins are the youngest team in baseball. Like they need the vibes like this. They need the younger players to show some personality and play. And Jesus Sanchez is like besides Sandy, he's the longest tenured guy on the team, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But he's like one of the older players, I guess. I think he's like 29, I think is my guess, 28, 29.
Damn, when you're the vet and you're 29, you got some babies on your
team. And yeah, he's acting like he's one of the younger guys. So I appreciate that from Jesus Sanchez.
Today we get another good one at 4:10. Cal Quantrill going to get the start for the Fish. Inter Miami, they play their first MLS game since May 31st tonight, 7:30 up in Montreal. Montreal, by the way, is the second to worst team in MLS, according to points. One other team that's worse is the team that won it all last year, the LA Galaxy. Montreal is a mess. And Messi has made the trip to Canada, so if Messi makes a trip, I'm going to speculate he's going to play. And contract negotiations continue with Messi in their Miami. Yeah, that's just, I mean, how do you have a contract negotiation with a team you're part owner with? It's like, well, I vote for him to get the pay raise. I mean, I do have a vote. I own 35% of the team. How does that go? I didn't ever think of that. Like, how does that go exactly? Like,
you're a fool. That's hysterical. How do you negotiate with a person who pretty much owns the team? Is he negotiating with himself?
Him and David Beckham and his agent get in a room like, we got you beat. You know, we got the player, one of the owners, and the other owner. Okay, here we go. The player and one of the owners says yes, pay raise. Beckham's like, oh.
If they had won this right now, he could have asked for anything. They would have to give it to him.
Oh yeah. If he'd won, I mean, if Club World Cup, and you're seeing these teams go at it like,
and you could tell the difference between
PSG.
MLS and the top teams in Europe, the top club teams in Europe.
Absolutely. That PSG game the other day, with Inter Miami losing 4-0 was
last
just
Saturday. Yeah, beat them.
That was one of those games where I don't finish watching if I'm not here at the radio station with it on. Like, I'd have been like, I'm out. I got this, man. Anyway, U.S. men's national team, they did defeat Guatemala 2-1 in the semifinals of the Gold Cup. They will play Mexico in the finals tomorrow at 7. We're going to talk about this in the next segment. Reports are that the Heat did contact and talk to the Phoenix Suns about acquiring Bradley Beal, but talks did dissolve. So,
yeah, you've been trying to holler at her for like the longest, eh?
Give up on KD and Bradley Beal, please.
Jeez, the flirting with these two is ridiculous.
Bradley Beal did average 17 points a game last year. I'm just saying. Nonetheless, Heat Summer League, California, today opens up 4:30 against the Spurs. So that's a little something to keep an eye on. I'm going to see what Kasparas Yakuchonis has to offer. We did talk about Tua Tagovailoa in the NFL's top 100 this year, 91st going into the season. Last year, he was 36th. MLB All-Star lineups have been revealed. Some of the usual names: Ohtani, Aaron Judge. You're also going to add Cal Riley and Hialeah's own Manny Machado. I'll be watching. That's the only All-Star game I watch because I definitely cannot stand the Pro Bowl, whatever that is. And I don't even know what's going on with the Pro Bowl and the NBA All-Star game. That thing is just wacky, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, man, it's like you can only play certain teams at certain minutes, and it's just weird. Like, it's like a tournament, but it's each game is a quarter for the NBA. It throws me off, man.
Oh, you're talking about Summer League?
No. I'm talking about we got the Major League Baseball All-Star game coming up.
Right, that's next week.
I will watch that, but I don't watch.
Oh, you don't watch the NBA or the All-Star because of the? Oh, yeah, they're trying to make it. Yeah,
Pro Bowl for the NFL, like just literally. Turn the TV off.
Hey, fans, by the way, stop saying that these All-Star games are for the fans. The fans see everybody. This is not like the 70s and 80s when everybody's got the league pass. Everybody's got a ticket. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen everybody. You can't tell me there's a this could be the first time I'm seeing
right. And I don't want to sound like an old
player from this team,
like an old curmudgeon, but like back in the day when the National League only played the National League and the American League only played the American League, it was times that you would only see a pitcher-batter matchup maybe ever. But now it's like everybody plays everybody. So it's like,
everybody plays everybody, and you get the chance to see them every year or every other year because of a National League team, you guys alternate. You're either going to, let's give a team right now, or American League team since we're here in South Florida. So you can see the Yankees this year in Florida, in Miami. Next year, they'll be in New York. The Marlins will take on the Yankees in New York.
Are you going to go to any of the Yankees games when they come?
Yes.
How many?
All of them.
You going to all three?
Yeah.
Whew. It's a lot.
I know.
It's a lot. I mean, it's going to be well attended. So good.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, I mean, how many chances I get? There's not many 2 times. I mean, there's not many times that you get the chance to see your team literally 10 minutes away from you. Like they're literally a hop, skip, and a jump.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Wimbledon continues today. Yannick Sinner got a win on the men's side. Of course, Wimbledon will conclude next week, Saturday and Sunday.
I didn't know Bayern Munich has a brother as a manager.
Bayern Munich has a brother as manager. Very good.
Wow. I'm shocked. The Germans.
I used to watch more Bundesliga, but I lost my subscription to, they were on FS1 for a while, so I don't watch Bundesliga as much as I used to. been more locked into the MLS and a little bit of Premier League. That's it. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. I love to hear these stories, Vlad. A bride at her wedding in Texas, she knew that both her family and his family were very religious and were against dancing in public. So she defied them by twerking at the reception. Here's the problem. Both families want the marriage annulled now.
All right, hold on. So their culture just kind of like
there's some
frowns upon dancing, saying that it may be sexual in nature or something like that, or provocative in nature.
Very, very much against dancing at weddings and wedding receptions, and dancing in general, to be honest.
So what are you supposed to do at a wedding reception, guys? Just get food and converse?
Well, if it's a wedding where they probably don't allow dancing, there's also probably no alcohol. So
right. This is
they're just eating.
What
and
is
talking.
this, Amish? Is this an Amish wedding in Texas?
I'm not throwing out any religion. I'm not throwing any religion under the bus. I have a guess at what religion it is, but that's not the point.
I could tell you it's definitely not Latin, and it's definitely not African Americans.
No,
exactly. Because there's no way Latins are in there. There's no dancing at a wedding. Are you crazy? There's no way. I'm sorry, minorities got to dance. We got to dance at a wedding. We dance at funerals.
That's true. Okay. Well, nonetheless,
that's nasty work, bro.
That must have been awkward at the wedding.
By the way, how does she know how to twerk? If was she an outside member of this religion?
Don't you worry about that.
Hey, yo. Now we've talked about this. We've even talked about the Mormons, how they have people under the beds to
make sure that you consummate weddings or don't.
No, like you can date, but you can't have.
Yeah.
Right, but you can like do some type of
there's
friction.
Oh.
And there's people that's under the bed that your chaperones that kind of like make the noise as if you're.
That's
I know, but bro, we live in crazy times, Playboy.
Hey, do your thing, man.
Do your thing.
Well, we're not going to explain why, but this week we learned. Look, doing things weird, or maybe having your own little.
Being a freako.
Hey, doing what you do is your business.
That's your business. No Rico to being a freako. Come on now. There's no Rico being a freako.
Let's get to this Miami Heat trade situation. That's next on 560 WQAM. Miami Heat doing a whole lot of stuff while not doing a whole lot of stuff this offseason. Of course, we missed out on the whole KD thing. Khalil Ware says he's going to prove to the Heat and the world that they were right to not put him on the trading block for Kevin Durant. Duncan Robinson's out of here, man. Vlad, Duncan Robinson. He is now a Detroit Piston.
By the way, Malik Beasley, thank you for allowing Duncan Robinson to go back home.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I never thought about that.
Yeah, because Malik Beasley had a deal with the Detroit Pistons, I believe 3 years, $45 million. And then the news come out that he owes money. He's been gambling and all this stuff, and it looked pretty bad.
Right.
So they took that offer off, gave 2 years, $29 million, I believe, to Karis LeVert, and then offered Duncan 3 years, $48 million. So, yeah, one man's downfall is another man's treasure, bro.
I mean, Duncan Robinson's going to be odd to not see him with the Miami Heat after all these years.
And he's back home. He played at Michigan,
right?
And I think he's gonna be utilized very well under JB Bickerstaff, and you have Cade Cunningham. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
So now our best shooter, our sharpshooter, would now relying on Tyler Hero?
Tyler Hero is your sharpshooter. I mean, that was your two sharpshooters were Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. Now you have Tyler, but the problem with Tyler is if he has to handle the ball a lot, he gets tired.
In return, though, we did get Simone Fontecchio.
Okay.
He was when I say serviceable backup bench player, he played like 17 minutes last year.
I don't even remember him in the playoffs against the Knicks.
Not great points, 6-7 points.
Yeah, I don't even remember him, bro.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to get all hyped up and even try to talk to you and break down what Fontecchio was all about. Here's the other trade that's rumored around, Noah. And I know, Vlad, you're excited about this one, as I am, because we're big fans of some of these guys. There's talks that the Lakers have interest in Andrew Wiggins. And I think most Heat fans aren't exactly tied to Andrew Wiggins. Not that he's terrible, not that he's a world beater, but, he was here for a short time. Possible. Now, if Pat Riley can get the trade, I'd be totally down for this. They're talking about Andrew Wiggins going on over to the Lakers. The Lakers see something in Wiggins they possibly like. In return, a guy that we really like, Rui Hachimura, who we think is a great two-way player. Young player, Dalton Connect?
Yeah, the K is not silent.
Oh, I thought it was.
Nah, it's you pronounce it. Dalton Connect.
AI proves me wrong every time. And a first-round pick from the Lakers. If Pat Riley can pull that off,
that's too much to me for the Lakers.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like I'm giving up too much But
if Pat Riley can pull that off, that's a good trade.
I like Rui. The only problem with Rui, he gets hurt. But Rui to me is he's actually the perfect player that the Heat would want, because he's a guy who can shoot the three. He can shoot from the outside. He's a good offensive player. He can take you down low. So any mismatch where if there's pick and roll, he takes the smaller guys defending him, he can take him down low and shoot over him and everything like that. Also, defensively, I've seen him guard bigs. Like I've seen him guard Jokic. He's a strong player. He just has to be put in the right situation. Don't know if that's in LA, and we'll see. But you put Rui, so Rui would play the 3? Because he's been playing the 4. So you have Rui playing. I don't know.
You have to play him at the 3 because you're expecting Khalil Ware at 5. You're expecting Bam Adebayo at 4.
I don't know if he's at 3.
You could have Rui at 3. Then you'd have Tyler Hero, and then
Davion.
That's right. You did re-sign Davion Mitchell. Okay.
So that means you're relying on Rui to be like a 38, 39% three-point shooter, because if the ball's in Davion and Tyler's hands, he's going to be open.
So you got to wonder where you're going to get more shooting now that you've lost Duncan Robinson. The obvious answer.
Who? Malik Beasley?
Don't go crazy on me.
Malik Beasley?
Let me finish my statement.
Malik Beasley?
Yeah, I would love Malik Beasley.
Now I know what you're about to say, and I'm going to probably go ahead.
The obvious answer would be one Damian Lillard. But the problem,
he won't be ready till 27.
And the other problem, he's going to be older.
I mean, he's older. He's going to get old anyway.
And he's coming off of injury.
Yeah. And he won't really, and by that, we know you're not really yourself or close to yourself if everything works
until
well.
the
second year,
three-fourths into the season, really.
No, not even that, bro. The same way we're talking about Sandy right now, saying that we're trying to figure out will Sandy get his form back, and it's like he just came back off a major surgery. You're really not yourself until the year after the surgery,
right?
So it's 2 years because you have the surgery, you rehab, and then you got to get, I guess, acquainted back to the groove. You got to get back to the groove. You got to get back into your regimen, and then when you get there, then you start noticing signs of you being your old self again. That's if everything works out well. Usually doesn't.
This is my thing. Huge Damian Lillard fan, very questionable with the injury. If you are getting excited that maybe finally Dame time will be coming to South Florida, ESPN's David Dennis Jr., he poured some cold water on that, saying Damian Lillard is going to add his talents to a contender. Ooh, that kind of hurts. He's not going to go out there and rebuild. I know people were talking about Miami. He's not going to go rebuild with a team.
Who?
Damian Lillard.
Nah, he's going to a team that's already ready to win a title. He's going to go to Golden State.
He's going to be an added bonus to a team that is, quote unquote, not rebuilding. I don't know if we're rebuilding or not, but the thing is this. I mean, it's such a weird situation because he's pretty much off the shelf this whole season. No one's picking him up, right? Because remember, he gets waived by the Bucks.
Do you know I could give you an all-star starting five of guys who are just banged up from next season?
Yeah, let's go. Jason Tatum.
Dame at the point, Tyrese at the 2, Tatum at the 3.
Who else we got?
Kyrie coming off the bench. I just need a big man. Embiid.
Oh yeah, Joel Embiid's always hurt.
Bung. That starting five, of course, I would have to play them in a video game and take simulation and injuries off. We would go 72-0. I mean, 82-0.
Damian Lillard, though, not an option. Did you think there was any other option now for the Miami Heat, Vlad? Is there anybody?
I don't know, fam. I mean, I think a lot of things would have to be trades. So the trade would have to happen. And, Roz can come out and says, we know after that meeting I had with you guys, we just took a look at the team and just we thought we just needed a couple of tweaks here and there. It was unfortunate, sad to see Duncan go because we loved him. But, he got a chance to go back to home, and he opted out of his early termination contract. So
his sign and trade,
right? So but we like what we got back in Simeon. But yeah, Simone. But to me, but then it's like, nah. Right now, you gotta hope that Bradley Beal gets brought out, and then you make a move for Bradley Beal. But nobody. I mean, how long have this relationship with Bradley Beal been rumored? And do you really want Bradley Beal at this stage of his career?
And the Terry Rozier situation still looms. When you feel that,
is he still on his roster?
Yeah. So he's still got another year. That's another thing. Bradley Beal. So there was talk, and there still is somewhat talk, that he gets bought out by Phoenix. Therefore, he's out of his contract, and the Heat would pick him up. What do you pick him up for, though?
What do you mean? You're not gonna pick him up for nothing because he's already paid.
But I'm talking about like what would be a value that you could get?
He's gonna sign a vet minimum.
Vet minimum? I'll take that for 17 points.
Why do you think? How do you think the Knicks got Jordan Clarkson?
Right.
We weren't gonna pay the money that he had on his contract. Utah paid him out, so he got his lump sum. So if he gets $30 million, then you sign with the new team for a vet minimum. You're making $31.5 million that year.
So Vlad, are you cool with Bradley Beal joining this team on a veteran minimum?
Yeah,
I am.
You can't be upset with that because it's not costing you anything, and it's not a long It's not a long contract. It's not a long tenure. It's only 1 year to see what's up.
So realistically, let's say Bradley Beal gets on this team. What would be a realistic expectation as far as averages wise?
I would expect him to average between 17 to 20 points. Yeah, because now he's going to be a starter. He's not coming off the bench. There's no, I don't know what I'm doing here, but Coach Budenholzer or whoever the coach of Phoenix was at the time. Because remember, he was starting, then he's not,
and he was on the bench, and he wasn't hardly playing. He averaged 17 last year.
So now, all right, you average 17. That's off the bench for the most part.
He still had times last year when he was dynamic when scoring.
You add him. All right, cool. You add him there. If he gives you 17, 18 points at this stage of his career, that's good. You open that Tyler gives you 22. So if you're getting if you're getting nearly 42 to 45 points from your backcourt,
Yeah. I would say realistically,
that's pretty good.
if you can get him on league minimum, and of course you could start him, and he can average you 15 points a game, a couple assists
See,
here
I
and
don't know
there.
about 15 though. Even though
You're
I
not
know
okay
we're
with
not
it?
paying him much, no, because he's a 2 guard. You got to score, bro.
Ooh.
You're a bucket getter. You got to get us buckets.
Does
Or
he
you gotta
still
get the
have?
heat buckets?
Does he still have it in the tank, Zach? Do you think that
No.
Bradley Beal still has it in the tank to be a 20-point scorer in this league?
Maybe a little less than 20, but I mean, I think like 17, like he's averaging now, is what he would get. But we were talking, you used the term aging star. You know, he said that with Kevin Durant, like a guy that the Heat would get.
Wait a minute.
I mean,
I think we have to ask this question then. Is he a star?
On this team, maybe.
No, I don't think he is.
I mean, he wasn't even a star on Phoenix, and Phoenix was a hot mess.
I don't
last
think he was
year.
a star in Washington. He was just the best player. It doesn't necessarily mean you're a star. You're just the best player. Tony Campbell averaged 20 points for the Minnesota Timberwolves back in the 90s. Even bad, somebody's got to take the shots for a bad team.
You know. So, would you want Bradley Beal on this team? Vlad will go around. If he could.
Oh yeah,
okay. No, on league. I understand veteran
on the
minimum,
league
yes,
minimum.
but anything
absolutely.
more than that. Anything more than that.
No, if it wasn't league minimum, no.
I'm in agreement.
Yeah, just too much. So if it's anything more than league minimum, you got to pass, pardon pun, pass on Bradley Beal, because it just, this flirtation stuff for these guys for so long, it's time to just deal with it and get done. We'll see what happens with Bradley Beal. Right now, still a Phoenix Sun. We'll see. League minimum, though, come on.
Dan, you as a Heat fan, I can understand, like, you're wondering, we were told something and what we were told is not happening. This would be a different team.
Oh, yeah. This is not only, it is a little bit different of a team, but I don't know if it's a different, better or different on paper.
Right.
Worse.
Because have you improved? Have you remained, lateral? Have you remained lateral? Like you just remained the same? Have you downgraded?
Well, so Zach Horowitz, you are a beat writer and you're on the beat at the University of Indiana, which is a Big Ten school. Kasparis Yakuchonis. Is he going to be a difference maker? When I say a difference maker, a key contributor to this team?
I don't know how much they'll play him, but he was a great shooter. I actually saw him one time. He dropped like 34 points in person. It was like a 25-point game at halftime. It was all him.
Really?
But then I've also seen him play games where he'll score single digits because of his foul trouble. So, but if they can get him open, I mean, you have Bam and Khalil Ware as your two bigs. If they're focusing on that guy and he can get some open threes or something, I think he can be beneficial to the team. I really do.
Is he a little reckless? You sound with the fouls. They said his turnovers were pretty bad too.
Yeah, his turnovers and foul. I guess he's a little aggressive on defense. So, I mean, maybe that's good in the NBA at this stage of the NBA. Maybe
you know where that boy going.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Let's get it cracking, baby. He's gonna know everything about Sioux Falls.
At least for half a season.
3/4.
I mean, they brought Pella Larson and
unless somebody gets banged up and then they'll call him in. They'll call him. Come on, man.
Great.
But if the team is where they were last year, he's not going to see the floor at all.
If the team is where they were last year, somebody's on the foreman.
No.
Yes.
Who's on the foreman?
Somebody's got to be on the foreman, bro.
Spo and Riley aren't on the foreman. They built up the. Okay, you heard it here first.
Somebody's got, dude. You can't go another season. Let me tell you this: the worst thing that happened to Heat fans was that 8th seed going to the finals.
Oh yeah, because it always gave you hope.
Now it's like, so we getting to play in Jimmy MVP. Now there's no more Jimmy.
That's
the
true.
Jimmy drama's over. This is all Tyler and Bam's team, and the team wasn't good last season. Let's admit it. The last time we saw this team play, they got their ass kicked by a double nickel.
That was the Cleveland Cavaliers, who got
in your home,
run out of the playoffs in the next round too. By the
Cassis. Well, they lost to a team that went to the 7th.
Right.
Okay. By the way, if that was the Miami Heat, we'll be like, at least we lost to the G. So let's not do that. They got their ass kicked by 55 after getting there. And mind you, they got their ass kicked by 30 game 3. So you're thinking, okay.
And the Cavs weren't at full power either.
And the Cavs weren't in full power. The guy that was trash talking you the most didn't even play. Darius Garland calling you out was like, you know what? You guys are so trash. I don't even have to play now. I could let Ty Jerome and Sam Merrill bust your ass, which they did. And then you're telling me right now, as we look this current roster with the Miami Heat, you think they're better?
Not right now, but Pat Riley may still have some moves.
So
and
now,
Giannis isn't leaving Milwaukee, by the way.
So now, okay, let's look at the teams that have made moves.
Milwaukee's got Miles Turner now.
Milwaukee signed Miles Turner. They're bringing back Taurean Prince.
Right.
They're bringing back Gary Trent Jr. So I mean, like I said, once that Jason Tatum injury happened, unless Giannis really wants to leave, Giannis is not being moved.
And the Milwaukee Bucks are doing, and they have always done, give them credit, anything that Giannis to give him a chance.
So it's on Giannis to make us think and get out if he wants to.
But if he does make a stink,
it just seems like he wants to add a fifth child with his wife. That's all he's focused on.
Yeah, but this year the East is also wide open now.
The East is wide open with one team being a favorite right now.
That would be the Cleveland Cavaliers.
No,
New York Knicks.
Absolutely,
the Knicks are the favorite
because the Knicks are the only team that have their core seven returning
that are healthy enough.
But is their core seven returning? Like their team is returning with the inclusions of Jordan Clarkson and the Frenchie, the guy that dunked on LeBron. I forgot his name. Starts with a G.
I don't know.
But yeah, those are the guys. He played for the 76ers last season, and those are the only additions. You look at Orlando. Orlando made some additions. They traded for for Desmond Bain.
That's true.
So they made moves. Who else made moves? Atlanta's the surprise team.
Atlanta's
the surprise team, and with all the moves that they made, the biggest move is that they're getting their promising small forward back next season. Johnson, I think his name is James Johnson. Is it James Johnson? No, I don't know if it's James Johnson, but they have a small forward, bro. Last season he was so good. Like he's the reason. His injury is the reason why the Hawks probably didn't go to the playoffs last season or make the play-in. But he is a up and comer. Then you add Kristaps. Who else did they added Alexander Walker from Minnesota.
Oh yeah, because they couldn't pay him enough.
They did a sign and trade.
Alexander Walker.
Right. So they've done things to improve their roster. I see 5-6 teams that are improving better than the Miami Heat right now.
Maybe Riley still can pull a rabbit out the hat. We're gonna have to
rabbit?
wait and see. We'll have to just wait and see. You never know.
What tricks? Roger?
We'll see.
Bud?
We'll see. And we'll see. Up next, keeping it a buck, 560 WQAM. Time to keep it a buck, where we keep it 100% real with you. Very, very excited about this 4th of July. The weather did not cooperate. I feel bad for the people that flew in, and I was at News Cafe on Ocean Drive yesterday in South Beach.
Oh man, I love News Cafe.
News Cafe is balling, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I used to seal a lot of deals with News Cafe, which is crazy.
You talking about with the female persuasion?
What other persuasion would I be?
I thought maybe you were wheeling and dealing, like you had a little business, you had a little side business or something.
Nah, I'm talking about closing the deals.
What's not like about News
Dude,
Cafe?
A great night at South Beach. If you're walking around like 3-4 in the morning,
I go to News Cafe.
Get a little grub.
I bring my bunnies. I go all hours of the day, man. I love News Cafe.
Get a little drink.
Oh, they got that.
Oh, they got a lot of that.
But I heard a family being like, man, we flew in like Wednesday and we're leaving tomorrow, and this is the weather, and they were trying to make it happen, but they couldn't, man. I feel bad. Keep it a bug. This sucks, man. And yesterday, low-key, was one of the most low-key 4th of Julys I've ever had.
It was mid. It was pretty mid.
South Beach was not banging, man.
It was pretty mid. Quick clear up. The guy's name is Jalen Johnson. That was the player from Atlanta that I was talking about.
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson, yes.
Ooh, real quick. Let's keep it a bug. We got a new, Zach was telling us that there's a new rule change is it the NBA?
Yeah. So, a lot of the time at the end of a quarter, the guy will throw up a heave after the whistle so that it doesn't count toward his stats, like his
field goal percentage.
His field goal, exactly. So now they tried it out in the G League last year, and they're trying it out in the Summer League now. I think it's implemented. The NBA will now count like a half court heave or behind. I think it was like a 36-foot shot,
like
or something
5
like that.
points.
So no, well, that's just going to count towards the team total and not individual shooting percentage.
It's not going to hurt your
stats.
percentage.
That makes I don't care about that.
Well, this is the reason why players.
Now, if you tell me if I shoot it and I hit it from like over 36 feet, it counts for 5 points. I bet you people would start doing it.
Yeah.
Listen, MTV Rock and Jock, they was right. They were right. If I'm shooting shots from 30, 40 feet, it should count for more.
Right. Okay.
So if you don't put it this way, a lot of these guys, because they really need those percentages.
Right. That's what we're getting to.
For their contract.
Right. That's what we're getting to.
That's what it's about. But if you add that, if you make that shot from this point, it gives you
4 points or 5 points.
I think people would start doing it.
Yeah, they would risk the field goal percentage for that.
Yes, they would.
But that's the whole thing. The reason they're implementing this is because you see guys more apt to shoot, like Zach said, after the whistle because they don't want it to hurt their field goal percentage. You go, what do you care? Well, yeah, when it becomes negotiating time and there's certain incentives that you have to hit, therefore you're not going to risk your field goal percentage by trying to heave up a 3/4 of a court shot.
Yeah, and I saw something. Steph Curry is like in the top 3 or top 5 in guys that throw up more than half court shots at the end of the whistle. Like his field goal percentages amongst the years that he took those and you take them off. It's like ridiculous.
Oh, really? It's made that much of a
because
difference.
Steph is not worried about no damn percentage. He's gonna get paid regardless.
So I like the rule, but I'll take into consideration you keeping the field goal percentage, but it's worth 5 points if it's past midcourt.
I think so.
Or past the logo. It has to be behind the logo because some guys can hit these midcourt shots. Damian Lillard was one of those guys.
So yeah, exactly. So is Steph. All these guys can shoot from the logo. LeBron shoots from the logo. If you hit it from the logo and it's an end, but it has to be the end of a
But
quarter.
if you hit the backside, if you're on the backside of a logo and it's the end of the quarter and you make it, we'll take into consideration a possible 4 or 5 point shot.
I think you make it a 5 point play, people start doing it.
And I'll also throw in an addendum. If you hit a full court shot within 3 feet of the baseline on the other side.
How about this addendum? I like what you're going here. How about this addendum?
Oh, PSG and Bayern Munich are tied now. Bayern just gets a header. Harry Kane, offsides.
Oh, take it back. Poor
Nothing's
Harry.
more exciting and more disappointing than soccer's offsides.
Look at it. Look at the fans. How about this? If you hit a certain amount, like say you hit 5 of them in a season,
yeah,
then you get a bonus.
On your contract or you bonus?
Yes.
Okay, on your contract. You can't get bonus points for
No, not bonus points, but you get bonus in your contract.
Okay.
Like that's
that's for you and your agent and team to work out.
Guess
maybe
what?
the league gives you a bonus.
These guys will start doing it. If I got a bonus of $3 million, if I hit 4 of these and I hit 3 already, you damn believe I'm gonna try to hit that 4th one.
But once again, it has to be at the end of the quarter because we don't want to turn this into Savannah Bananas basketball with guys shooting full court shots because
start twerking. No.
How exciting would it be now? I'm just playing,
I don't want to see guys twerking.
Let's say there's a 5 point shot in the NBA for like 3 quarters. You're down by 4 with 2 seconds to go. Usually you just leave like the game's over. Now you have a chance to win it at the end of the game.
Right.
That's pretty exciting.
How many times you seen a 4-point lead and you're like, oh, this game is over because
there's 2 seconds left.
Or they foul up 3 late.
Or they
so
foul up. That's the other thing. You can't foul anymore now. I hate that fouling.
Adam Silver, are you listening right now?
They want to improve the game, right? They want to get new eyes open. That's what I always hear.
And
we want more eyes.
Keep butts in the seat. Because, if you're down by 4 with 2 seconds left, you're out of there because you're like, we're not going to, there's no chance to win.
And you can inbound the ball backcourt to get a running start. So if I inbound the ball backcourt and my guy shoots, flings it from there and he ties it, let's go.
That would be very exciting to see a 3/4 of a court shot at the end of the game to tie it or win it and to be a 5-pointer.
You can easily get fringe fans to watch this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they got people watching the Savannah Bananas. Why not watch it?
As a matter of fact, the last 2 minutes of an NBA game, which is the best action, will even be more impressive to watch. It will be more interesting to watch because of the fact that, oh, man, this guy, they can go for the 4 or 5 point play.
But it has to be like in the last 10 seconds or 15 seconds.
Do what I've seen in flag football.
Are you watching flag football?
Dude, I'm watching anything, man. Hey, times are tough right now, especially when it's 2:30 in the morning. You're like, can't really fall asleep. Not watching porn. Just makes no sense.
You can't bet on that. Go ahead.
You can't bet on porn. You know what I'm saying? There's times when you have a special possession, and you can use like the special possession, and if you score a touchdown instead of it being 6 points, it's 10 points, but you only get one chance to use it. So maybe you can do that with the NBA. You get
so you're talking about involving the money ball into a game situation.
Why not?
Because it's not a video game, Vlad.
So what are you talking about? They all trying to make it into video games. That's why they're in bed with them.
All right.
Think about it.
I will think. I once again, we'll take it under consideration.
What if there was an 18-point lead, right, in the fourth quarter, and Tyler Hero hits the money ball? Now that 18-point lead is an 8-point game with 4 minutes left. Talk to me.
I'll let
you down by 18 with 4, but Tyler hits the money ball, cuts that 18-point lead to 8.
I'll let Eric Reed discuss all that and John Crotty.
You guys, isn't that exciting? Would that not be interesting?
Vlad, would you like it if it happened against your Knicks in the NBA Finals or
the
Eastern Conference Finals? It cuts down your lead from.
Guess what? You should have defended.
Okay. Hey,
it's one possession for you to defend. If you stop this, that 18-point lead stays 18, and they lose their. Yeah, that would be interesting, bro. I'm just listen.
I'm not saying it's not going to be interesting. I'm saying
it's the summer. I'm trying to improve the game. You know what I'm saying? They could, because we all know 20-point leads in the NBA disappear quickly. So but I'm just saying, if it's 18-point lead in the fourth quarter and you want to just here's the money ball. This is your money ball possession, 24 seconds. You have to hit a 3 to get 10.
Okay, so it has
two is
literally
5.
Is a money ball.
It's a money ball.
You can't hit a layup.
Nah. You got it. Money ball. You got to hit a 3.
Okay.
That 3 becomes 10 points. How exciting would that game be?
It'd be nail biting.
Now it wouldn't be exciting for the Heat because their last game, if they hit the money ball, they would be down 55.
But maybe
to 45.
Maybe that would be their answer. They can't score very good in the fourth quarter. Maybe they get a money ball right there. Half their scoring is already taken care of.
Darren, no BS. But guess what? How bad were they in the fourth quarter?
I know. They could have used the money ball.
They could have used the money ball a lot of times.
There were some times they didn't even score the money ball in the fourth quarter. I did a game against the Wizards or something where they only had 8 points in the fourth quarter. Whew. Got to figure that out too.
I'm just saying. The more I believe in my theory, the more I think about it. Like, I think the money ball would be very, very useful in the NBA right now.
Okay. Well, maybe try to break out some of Vlad's rules in preseason G League basketball and see how it works.
Or Summer League.
Preseason G League basketball, exhibition G League basketball, and see how it works.
Come on, man.
But as of now, half court heave doesn't go against personal stats. It goes to the team stats.
That's where we started at. Thank you.
But it's that, by the way, that's whack. That's like a team rebound.
I watch a decent amount of Knicks basketball. Karl Anthony Towns has the ball a lot at the end of a quarter and won't even shoot the ball from half court because he doesn't want it to hurt his 3-point percentage.
F that. Shoot it.
Well, now he will.
You hit 4 of them, you get an extra $5 million. I guarantee you guys would start doing it.
And we turn this into this heave-ho basketball too.
What are we talking about? The All-Star game's a heave-ho.
Yeah, and that's why nobody watches it.
Nobody watch, but you know what? They'll watch regular season games.
I
Guarantee
do.
you.
Oh, I'll watch regular season.
Guarantee you they'll start watching regular season
I'm
games.
locked in no matter what. That's the way it is. Keep it a buck. All right, back headlines. 560 WQAM.
I'm for it.
PSG just got a goal. They go up 2-0 on Bayern Munich, and that is in the 90th minute. So there's about 5 more minutes left in this game, most likely. PSG looking like the real deal.
Who's having a better summer than them?
No, you get rid of Messi, you get rid of Neymar, you get rid of Mbappe, and you get better. That's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And they're taking down Bayern Munich, too, man. That's like heavy stuff, man.
Dude, they took out Inter.
They
They're about to take out Bayern. And they may play Real Madrid in the semis if Real Madrid wins later on today.
They could be a team that not only
they had to take out Messi and then take out Mbappe in the same tournament.
Yeah.
And every game they win, that's more millions and millions added to their
winner of the Club World Cup gets $125 million after everything's said and done.
Yeah, they've had the summer, boy. You talking about summer?
I mean, you win UEFA Champions League, you win FIFA World Cup. You're doing something right.
Yeah, you win both bodies. It's like you're winning the tournaments in both governing bodies soccer. Yeah, this is the year of Paris PSG.
For a team that was known as being choke city, they sure are having themselves a very nice year. Getting the monkeys off their back, it seems like, man. Very, very nice right there.
Dembele with the goal, make it 2-0. We're in the 90th minute, right?
Yeah, they're in extra time already.
They're in extra time. It's over, baby. Strap City.
They are in extra
Strap
time.
City, man.
That's it.
Oh, let me give quick shout outs here, man.
Yes, please. Please. I always like the shout out.
Happy birthday to my brother-in-law, Francois. Today he celebrated his birthday. Shout out to my boy, one of my dear friends, Dean, who celebrated his birthday yesterday, 4th of July, baby.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Happy belated birthday and rest in peace to the boss, George Steinbrenner.
Okay.
He was born July 4th. So
Couple other birthdays today. Megan Rapinoe, you know, her and I have a spotted history. She turned 40 today. Yep.
Megan's turns 40?
Yep. If you don't know about me and Megan Rapinoe and I, early in her career, I was a fan, of course, of the U.S. women's soccer team. I saw her in the airport. I didn't know she lived in Seattle at the time. I saw her on a connecting flight, and I said, hey, Megan Rapinoe, I thought it would be nice that a man would come up and show props. This was before the women's team was this huge, big thing that they are now. And I said, you know, I'm a huge fan of yours. Love the team. That injury pass you had against Brazil in the World Cup was absolutely fantastic. Love what you women are doing. It's great for the sport. She looks at me dead in the eye and goes, yep, and then turns away. I was like, ooh, thanks, Meg. And over the years, people have sent me videos where she is kind of dismissive of fans. But nonetheless, much love, Megan Rapinoe. Happy birthday. And Shohei Ohtani is 31. That's kind of surprising. I didn't know he was 31.
Why?
I thought he was younger.
Has he been in the leagues for 10 years?
I don't think that. I think he played in Japan.
Yeah,
no, I know he played in Japan, but it's I'm
think-
sure he's been there for a minute now.
He came over, I think, when he was 26.
Okay.
So it's only been 5 years?
I think.
Yeah.
This is the second season with the Dodgers, right?
Yes, because he was DHing last year, and then he played. Yeah,
Wait,
probably,
how many years he played with the Angels?
probably
3?
I mean, of course, we can look it up. That's not a problem.
I mean, you know, who cares about Googles?
Yeah, no. Why get things right, you know?
Yeah, I can get things right.
But he's 31. I think he's still signed past his 40s.
Yeah, that's a big sign.
Well, everybody's signing guys to 10
Right.
years deals now. How you think they got Ronald Acuna Jr.? They realized he was good. Hey, let me give you a $100 million contract for 12 years.
He's in the home run derby now, Cunha.
Who else is in the home run derby?
They got Cal Raleigh. He's from the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, he's leading the league.
He hit 2 yesterday again.
Again?
He's up to 35 on
Yo,
the
how
year.
is this catcher hitting home runs? He's on roids.
And he's a switch hitter.
He's roided up.
So he
He's
does
on
it from
something.
both sides.
All right, I take that back. I don't know if he's on anything, but it's kind of weird that he's a catcher who's a switch hitter and hits both sides, is hitting this amount of home runs.
Yeah.
And we've greatly, when I say underestimated Shohei Ohtani, this is his 8th major league season.
Right.
I can't believe it's been that long. COVID gets you, man. COVID will get you. Started with 2018 with the Angels. So,
and he's just now pitching for the Dodgers.
Oh, so
for
it's
the
7
first
years
time.
then. 7 years.
this is his 8th
Eighth season? Okay.
Yep. Of course, that whole COVID year, 46 games, just, yeah. But still, yeah, man.
Was Sue Bird with you?
No, Sue Bird was not there.
Okay.
No, I cannot vouch for Sue Bird's name and likeness and everything.
That's Vlad's WNBA.
You got a little crush on Sue Bird?
Yeah, I love Sue Bird.
Kelsey, we talked about Kelsey Plum. We talked about Sue Bird today.
Yeah, Sue Bird was before Kelsey. Only because she's from the city. She's from New York. Diehard Knicks fan. She's a diehard Knicks fan, and she did her thing in UConn.
Absolutely.
Sue Bird.
Let's see. 954 texts in. Dan, the Bucks, Knicks, and Cavs ain't going nowhere. Write that down in inedible ink.
You might need it. You might have taken an edible when you wrote that with that ink.
Oh, indelible ink.
Oh, well, yeah.
The Miami Heat is about to surprise. Hold up. They're setting themselves up to make moves in the very near future while
Yeah, they
others
setting themselves up, all right.
are passing themselves into no man land.
Oh, delusional Heat fan. I loved it. I love it.
Hey, man, Riley makes one big move, and we're right where we need to be.
Hey, Drake makes one big hit. He's back to where he's being on top of the game.
We'll talk about
I
Drake.
just don't see that happening.
We'll talk about Drake in a minute. You might have to eat those words.
Who, me?
I'm just saying. We'll talk about it.
What? That song he came out dissing LeBron?
I don't know if it's dissing.
He's dissing everyone?
We'll get to it. Once again, I don't want to kill people.
Go sing Aubrey.
Oh, don't call people by their real names. Save that for later. Duncan Robinson would foul you as you take the 5-pointer. Oh, yeah, Duncan Robinson, he's a fouling.
Dan, you've been on with it. That's funny to me. Don't call people by their
real names. Why would you want to disrespect someone like that? A lot of people.
His mother named him Cassius. I'm going to call him Cassius.
Call them by what they want to be called. Oh, man. Let's see. We got a bunch of people texting in about your 5-point shot, just saying Duncan Robinson would foul on the 5-point shot, give him +1 and 1 foul on the money ball.
That would be funny if you foul somebody on the money
ball.
shot.
And they made it?
And they made it?
You got to do like an and 4 for that one, man.
It's But how much? I said 10 points, right?
Yeah.
That would be an 11.
No, I'm saying, like, do you get extra like free throws too because it's a money bomb? Foul plus like 3 free throws because you were in 3-point land.
Or they get fouled and miss the shot. Do they take 1 free throw that's worth all 10?
Because that could be a smart foul because you don't give up 10 points. Strategy.
Nah, you can't force. Nah, I'm not doing that forced foul. That's the reason why I'm taking away that fouling from where everybody's got the 3 points with the 3-point lead. I hate that. That extends the game long.
Heat Colt says Messi looked kind of weary. Yes, he did look, as did the whole entire Inter Miami team against PSG. Looked a little questionable.
That was men versus boys out there on that field.
It was not pretty. Tonight, though, we'll get right against Montreal CF, the second worst team in the league.
You know that Montreal's probably gonna win because you said that you said that weeks ago that they're gonna, when we had Daniel Solano and they're playing against a bad team, and then that bad team busted their ass.
Well, their most recent MLS win was a 5-1 win over the Columbus Crew, which is a very good team in the MLS. So if the distant past sports, speaking of the sports, it was May 31st. It was the last time we played an MLS game. Is any indication, we should be okay. But
May 31st, really?
May 31st was the last MLS game for Inter Miami.
That was Game 6 of the Knicks Pacers ECF.
Goodness,
my dad's birthday.
Man,
Knicks disappointed. They let my dad down, man.
You were very much worried about that. I
thought that. I was like, they're gonna lose on my dad's birthday, bro. They're gonna get eliminated on my dad's birthday.
I had that feeling.
And by the way, speaking family, happy 55 to my parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got married today.
Oh,
so this thing happened on July 5th.
Good time of the year. Good time of the year to do a lot of things. It's summertime. It's good times.
Actually, it's 56. I'm wrong. They got married in 69.
Man, that you keep up with your parents' marriage anniversary.
Well, you got to understand. I realize a lot of big events happen around that time. 69,
it's a memorable day too. It's not like September 21st or something like that. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like it's 69. 70.
Two very memorable numbers, 69 and July 5th. So yeah, I got you.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah. Hopefully the Marlins have an easy time when they play the Brewers today at 4:10. Cal Quantrill will get the start for the Fish.
Brewers are a good team, bro.
Yes, they are.
They're a good team.
Marlins are playing well, so we'll see. Of course, Inter Miami, we talked about that. Messi has made the trip to Canada. Should be a big crowd. Should be a whole lot of fun for everyone. Hopefully, as an Inter Miami fan, I'll have to try to catch that thing at 7:30. Oh, no, I'm going to be at that Hombres G.
You're going to be at the Spanish Beach Boys.
Yeah, I am. I am going to be doing that. They have another band opening up for them, and I'm not going to translate their name correctly because I don't want to get in trouble, but it's basically Little Green Men, the band that's going to open for Hombres G. So should be a rock and roll time. And you can't listen to the whole, because they've been around for like 40 years, a band. Like, you can't listen to their whole catalog and like get you familiarized with it because
look, does your girl know their catalog?
She thinks she does. I will say this. I was cleaning the house the other day, listening to their music, and she's like, "Who are you listening to?" I said, "Well, since we're going to see him," she goes, "Oh, I thought I recognized it." I
thought I recognized. Yeah.
And then follow it up with, "They're good, right?" If you have to ask, don't. I'm not knocking the band. Actually, I'm excited to see them. But like, you ever did that, Vlad? Like, you tell somebody, like, "Bro, you have to try the ribs at this place. We're gonna go," and then you go, and you're like, "They're good, right?" You start feeling that sinking feeling, like, maybe they don't enjoy them as much as I do. You don't have to ask if it's good. Just no, just no. U.S. men's national team, they are going to play tomorrow against Mexico. That is going to be at 7:00.
Oh God, I'm sick of this tournament.
We're not going to get into that. Mario Cristobal missed out on a 4-star Orlando area safety, Devin Jackson. He has committed to Oregon, but Miami's 2026 class still remains one of the best in the country. Reports are the Heat did conduct talks on acquiring Bradley Beal from the Suns, but those talks dissolved. I think most Heat fans are okay with that. Although we have discussed, if we can get him for a league minimum, we are totally down.
Anybody going to take a play that can give you 17 points if you don't have to pay him you've only got to pay him $1 million or 1.5. But if you have to give him the contract that he has right now, no, you don't want to do that.
Summer League starts today. California for the Heat. Spurs, they got some things going. 4:30 is the tip time. So we'll see who plays. We'll see how the Heat do in these summer leagues. We know last year they won summer league on, believe it or not, Pelle Larsson free throws. Yeah, that's how they won the championship of the summer league. Pelle Larsson hit 2 free throws at the end of the game.
Did they raise a banner?
We do not do that in Heat Nation. Pelicans Nation, we do. Yes.
You might have to start doing that.
Pelicans, the only team that got worse with the draft.
That's what everybody thinks. Watch
Derek
Joe
Queen.
Dumars know what he's doing.
Watch Derek Queen come out and be the rookie of the year.
Yeah, and then the Bill Simmons of the world are gonna have to laugh, take back everything they said, because clearly nobody knows what their plan is, but that's because they haven't really said what their plan is.
Right.
So therefore, just wait and see.
True. Real Madrid later today, Borussia Dortmund. It's a real big soccer weekend.
It is.
It's good. They got some golf going on right now. I don't know what's going on with that.
But that's good. You know why I'm happy? This was the first week in July. So when the first full week begins, which will be Monday, it'll be July 7th. We're literally 11 days away from training camp.
Whew. Should be exciting. Wimbledon's been pretty exciting. Yannick Sinner got a win. Iga Swiatek got another win. So hopefully Iga Swiatek can keep up her tradition. Well, she did one in straight sets, but she can keep up her tradition of being the best tennis player until she gets to the final, when she has no chance to win whatsoever. That is her MO. Like,
I think she'll win this year.
Okay.
Because Coco was gone.
Coco did.
I was rooting for Naomi, obviously.
Arina Sabalenka didn't look great yesterday, but she looks like the steadiest player in this tournament, obviously, because she's still in it. But she beat Emma Raducanu yesterday.
Emma
Raducanu.
Yeah.
She's a British lady.
She should be top 10.
She's won some majors, man. But it's one of those things. Major League Baseball All-Star Game. That's going to be a fun one. That's next Tuesday, right? The 14th?
The
15th. 15th. Okay, it's always on a Tuesday. So that you want to talk about the dead period. Oh,
what?
That night that the ESPYs comes on.
Oh, you're talking about the next day.
It's maybe the worst day to do anything. Like
the Wednesday after the All-Star game is the worst sports day
literally
in history.
Be a good guy and plan a family day that day and tell your family, like, look,
I'm going to the bar. That's a hump day. Ladies, I'm outside. Yes, I'm outside.
Because how do we turn this into making a family day to I'm on the streets.
Well, I got to make.
I'm open for business.
I'm not married. I got no children.
Okay.
I got days.
Okay.
You're my Monday. You're my Tuesday. Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, July 16th. We outside.
Okay.
We're outside. Because that is the worst sports day.
I mean, and the ESPYs are just terrible.
ESPYs are terrible. Because here's the other thing. You know what the ESPYs, right? How's Oklahoma City already like in a category when they just won like last week?
They had a great season.
Okay. That means you're just waiting. Oh, okay, team of the year. Let's just put every team that won a title.
Yeah, that's what they do. They really don't put a lot of thought into it.
It's no thought into this. It's no thought. Somebody just thought, hey, since every genre of entertainment has an award show, let's do it for sports.
I mean, yeah, and it's at the time where there is literally nothing. Like, I don't even think they even have Sports Center that night. They just show
What's
the
Sports Center going to show?
Just ESPYs. Yeah, no baseball.
Basically, the only thing you're going to have to watch is Summer League.
Ooh. Dude, I've gotten stoked up for Summer League games. You know, like, oh, I can't wait to watch the rookies and the young guys. And like midway or late, not even midway through the game, you're like, oh, God. Okay. We don't air Summer League games anymore. I don't know why.
It's a waste of time. The hell?
I'm sure Steven and Brittany and maybe even Trevor.
Trevor would rather stay home on a Saturday than come out here just for 2 hours because they don't even do the game.
That's true. It's mostly an interview, and
man, it's a 2-hour monologue, bro. It's like the Jason Jackson show. I love it, but you know, I kind of want to hear action.
We always want to hear action. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. A waitress admits to putting her own baby picture in her server's book so that when she gives people the bill, she opens the book, they see a baby picture, and they believe she's a single mom.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Great scam.
She says it's a little white lie. It's not hurting anybody.
It ain't hurt. It's not a bad lie. It's not a bad lie. I don't care. Okay. I don't care. I think it's good. I think it's dope. I think it's dope. It's a good scam.
Maybe she can be your Wednesday girl, Vlad.
Nah, she got a job. I don't want a job.
No, she doesn't have a child.
Oh, that's right. She doesn't have a
She
child.
puts her own baby picture
Oh, that's
in her
right, that's right,
server's
that's
book
right,
to
that's
make
right.
it look like she's a super mom.
Yeah.
She got no kids.
She's my Sunday now.
Sunday's the
Yeah.
day, yeah. And you know she's probably flush with cash because
Absolutely. She's
getting a lot
got
of
tips for days.
Pardon. Whoa, pause.
I said tips.
Tips for days.
Tips for
Pause.
days.
Pause.
No, it's not a pause.
It's
not a
That
pause.
is a pause.
No, it's not a pause. I'm talking about her.
Bring him in, Zach. Tips
No.
for days. Is that a pause or not a pause?
No.
If a woman,
come on, Vlad.
Tips. I didn't say. I
No,
said
no.
multiple. I didn't say.
you know that Juvenile song. I need a tip drill. I said it
I
must
could have
be-
changed another
'cause it-
consonant.
Well, yeah. No, that would just be straight up like
Okay, then.
that's like a meatball pitch down the middle. But this is more of a what would you call a slider, maybe?
I'm not. Then you know me.
Pause.
And you know me.
slider.
I'm not. When we're talking about. When we're talking about
Tips
ladies and waitresses or
and
servers.
meatballs and sliders. Pause.
I'm not pausing.
We're not
on
pausing
tips.
today.
I'm not pausing on tips. No, I'm pausing. But she got tips for days. I'm not pausing on that. Now,
She's
if I said
hustling.
now if I said he got tips for
Whoa,
days,
whoa.
major pause. Like, hey, yo, like what's going on? But no, if she's got tips for days, no, we good.
We'll end on that. Back after this, 560 WQAM. Get me with this one every time.
You already know what it is.
Keep thinking it's Lou Reed.
It's not Lou Reed.
Take a walk on the wild side.
Nope.
Do 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 do.
Yo,
Drop it. That's some good turntables.
Ali Shaheed.
Nice. New article out.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Tribe
Yes,
gets me every time. Yes, you can.
Cannot kick it.
NFL.com's Eric Edholm has written an article about Steelers-Dolphins trade, winners and losers from swap involving Jalen Ramsey and Minkah Fitzpatrick. You know who his number one winner is, Vlad? Aaron Rodgers. Shows the team is all in for him. Not to mention he gets a new weapon in Jonnu Smith and some defensive help. Another winner, Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator, Pittsburgh Steelers. We know he's reunited. He's got his guy,
Who,
Jonnu
Jonnu?
Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, but then one thing I know is that Aaron, the type of offense he runs and the type of offense Aaron Rodgers want to run, they're going to butt heads, man.
Ugh, that's going to be not nice.
There will be conflicts.
Jalen Ramsey's seen as another winner because obviously he wasn't happy here in Miami and Miami wasn't happy with him. But let's say why Minkah Fitzpatrick is a winner. He says, it didn't seem like Fitzpatrick enjoyed his first Miami experience, which lasted only 18 games after he was drafted 11th overall in 2018. His time was marred with organizational instability, Adam Gase, and Fitzpatrick's rookie season.
Hold on. They said his first stint with Miami, there was organization, failures or difficulties?
Instability.
Dan Day?
Is it stable now?
I'm just asking you right now. If somebody's on the hot seat, how stable can an organization be?
Poor Minkah Fitzpatrick.
No, I mean, because whoever's writing this is trying to say, like, you know, when the whole Flores situation, everything was weird. We all remember there was something with Jay-Z and Flores and Minkah, and Flores made sure to play Jay-Z all practice. Like, it was one of the funniest things ever. You know, you can't mess with Brooklyn. Like, you know, Flores, he's a big Jay-Z fan. You can't be talking trash about Hove. We don't like that here. So he played all Jay-Z music during the training camp, that day of training camp. So, okay, Flores is not there no longer the coach, but you're going into a situation 4 years after the fact where you have a coach who's also on the hot seat and a defense that's not as potent as the defense you're leaving, or
right. That's why it's odd that they're saying he's a winner.
Right. I mean, I don't get it.
They're saying, though, he can be one of the best players on the defense. He can lead the defense. And if he gets back to form that we know that he can possibly play at, Minkah Fitzpatrick could set himself up for a big contract whenever he gets done heading into the final year of his current deal.
I don't know if he's going to get a big contract, fam. He's 28.
If he has a great year, though.
If he has a great year, he's probably going to get a 3-year deal, probably.
So there's potential. That's why I'm guessing they're putting him as a winner. Jonnu Smith a winner because he got.
It makes sense if you look at both organizations. I don't think Pittsburgh was willing to trade. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think the Steelers were willing to extend Minkah Fitzpatrick because they have to do something with TJ Watt right now that they have to deal with.
Yeah, figured that out.
And they seem to be. Pittsburgh seems to be the place that old ass on their back nine, probably only at the 16th hole, par 3, where cornerbacks go. And I don't want to say get a resurgence, but they don't look washed.
Okay.
Joe Hayden, Patrick Peterson, they all went to Pittsburgh, and they were able to still produce for good couple seasons before they were officially washed. So maybe this is where Jalen goes, and Jalen also got a raise while being traded. So yeah, I could understand why he didn't lose, because he got to go to a team that has a chance to contend. He's still getting paid, and he got a little bump in pay,
fresh start, stuff like that. Yeah, I understand. Now I want to go to the losers list. 100% of the losers, you guessed it, are Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa, one of the losers. He landed the big contract, they say, but you got to remember, he lost Jonnu Smith. He also lost some of his defense. Hill is now 31 years old. That's Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle appeared to take a step back. Tua, Devon Achane. Okay. Another loser. Mike McDaniel. Dolphins leading pass catcher in 2024, no longer on the team. Ramsey, one of the best defensive players, no longer on the team. And McDaniel's offense hasn't traditionally relied on a volume tight end, so we can't project any guaranteed doomsday forecast. Mike McDaniel's seen as kind of a loser in this because he did lose some talent and doesn't know what he's getting back. And last, the Dolphins' exterior defense. I'm surprised. Again, it was no surprise Ramsey was traded, but doesn't replace nearly the entire secondary, any less daunting a task for coordinator Anthony Weaver as he tries to piece together this group. Minkah Fitzpatrick should help fill a major void at secondary, and he has the ability to patch holes at multiple spots. He also 2 years younger than Ramsey. You mentioned that. Figures to be a day one leader for this team, has a golden chance to rewrite the story with the franchise. But who's alongside him? Nickel cornerback Kader Kahu. Okay.
Who?
Nickelback cornerback Kader Kahu. Also, you got
it could have been a Nickelback lead singer. Nobody's gonna care.
Chad Kroger.
Yeah, it could have been Chad Kroger playing corner.
Storm Duck, once again, undrafted free agent.
Your name is Storm Duck. I can't take you seriously.
Cam Smith, I am going to write you off right now, and I'm sorry.
Cam Smith was selected because wasn't his son friends with.
That's
right?
the rumor.
That's the rumor.
So I mean, Cam Smith, we've given you a lot of tries. Like
this is his third season, correct?
Yeah, that might be his fourth.
Oh my God! If it's his fourth season, hey, this is not good. When your general manager's like, this is time.
No, you're right. It's his third season.
It's his third season, but he said it's time for him. We can't babysit you no more.
Right. When your general manager comes out and says that, okay. You can also possibly rely on 5th round cornerback Jason Marshall Jr. Huh? Ashton Davis? Huh?
We had Ashton Davis in New York. Ashton Davis is not that great.
Is he going to be I'm going to say make the team. Is he going to be?
He might make the team in special teams. He's a
right.
special teams player and stuff like that. And he'll make a play at the end of the game if you're up and you're the other team has to drive the ball down the field. Yeah, he can get a deflection for an interception type of guy. Yeah, or a fumble. But if you're talking about Ashton Davis making plays, is he a playmaking secondary player? No.
We do this every year. So what we need is Minkah Fitzpatrick to return to form.
I don't even know what form. When he say return to form, what did he say?
I'm not done though. We have to have Kader Kahu step up as a nickelback and pretty much an every down back. We need Storm Duck to play out of his mind, and we need Cam Smith to show up and be a star, a second round pick worthy. That's a lot to ask, man. Anthony,
and you know what, Dan? And you know what? Nobody's asked. How is the running game gonna do?
All I can tell you is Devon Achane said his goal is 1,000 yards rushing, 500 yards catching, receiving.
And it's probably going to happen the other way. He'll probably have 1,000-yard receiving, 500 yards rushing.
I don't know if you got sick of it. I got sick of that weird little screen pass.
I knew exactly what you're going to talk about. Yeah.
Where he'd run out and zigzag in and then get lit up. I mean, I thought Mike McDaniel, give that poor guy a break. That was a dangerous play. It worked a couple times, but to supplement handoffs by doing that, I didn't like it. We need more creativity this year. But so basically in this list by Eric Edom from NFL.com, a lot of losing going on with the Miami Dolphins in this trade. I don't know if I totally agree with it. I think you did get a little bit better on defense overall. On offense, that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens with.
Yeah, this is a crazy time in South Florida, gentlemen, where the Marlins and Panthers are trending upward and the Dolphins and Heat are trending downward.
It's a true story. It is a true story. Darren Waller, let's go.
No, let me not laugh. Darren Waller, he was a good player 5 years ago.
Could still be a good player.
5 years ago.
5 years?
Yeah, bro.
Eesh.
Let's look at his stats. Go ahead.
Eesh. When was his last season?
2 years ago.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so.
But what I'm saying, he was really good when he was a Raider.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was one of the best in the game.
All right.
And he had Derek Carr passing
Darren
to
Waller has been in the NFL. Well, he's played 8 seasons in the NFL.
Oh, I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah, he's old. He played 2 games. Yeah, he had 2 receptions in 2015 for the Ravens. He had 10 for the Ravens in 2016.
Oh, no.
2017, he wasn't there. Something happened to him in 2017. Probably, I think, maybe substance problems. So 2018, 6 receptions for the Raiders. His best years, he's only had 2 good years, 2019 and 2020. 2019, 90 receptions, over 1,100 yards, only 3 touchdowns. 2020, over 107 receptions, nearly 1,200 yards.
That's big.
And 9 touchdowns.
That's big.
Then 21, 55 catches, 665 yards.
If you can give us that this year, I'll take it.
2022, 28 catches for 388 yards.
We need more than that.
And his last season in the NFL, which was his first year with the Giants, 52 receptions, 552 yards.
Okay. There's potential there.
But what nobody's seen, I'm sorry. I can't take my chance on this guy.
I can, because I have no choice now.
No, because 2015, have we not seen the years? This guy's been in the NFL since 2015. There's 3 years that he didn't play.
That's right. So here, and I hate to say it because I don't like to bring the bad juju to.
And he's 32.
That's what I was going to say. Here's the thing. He could come here and be the next Jonnu Smith. He could also come here and be the next Odell Beckham Jr.
And who said he's fleecing you? The minute he signed, who said Odell fleeced you? Got you guys without a real weapon. He just put his hands in his jacket and just say, give me $3 million, guys. And you guys did. Who said that?
In my defense, I stood up for him and said he was going to be a solid number 3 receiver.
And who said he wasn't?
In my defense,
we're not talking about you. We're just talking about who said he wasn't. If you guys listen to me, a lot of your Dolphins problems would be solved. Told you not to give number 10 the extension. You're stuck.
Wait till this season.
Told you guys not to give Jimmy the extension. Pat, listen.
That turned out well.
It was going to end up the way it was going to end up either way.
Maybe they should put you on the payroll.
They should. They should.
Let's see what all Waller's got in him this year. I didn't know he was that.
You didn't know he was 30. Yeah, he's 32.
I thought he was younger than that.
And he hasn't played football in 2 years. He was rapping.
I know.
Okay.
He's making music. He had some mental and physical issues in his life.
And he's in South Florida. Listen, if you have issues, if you have an addiction, if you have just a vice.
That's not fair to say.
I'm sorry. There's just 3 cities in the world. There's 4 cities in the world you shouldn't play if you have a vice as an athlete. This guy's happened to play in 3 out of the 4.
And yet he's been able to put up big numbers some years.
He only put up big numbers twice.
Some years.
Twice.
It's all in verbiage. It's all in the verbiage.
Twice.
Everybody loves a comeback story. We need one because we'll see.
I'm just saying, if you have vices, South Florida is not the place to be going.
If you have vices, your vices are going to be anywhere you go, though. Let's be honest about that. They have people that live in the middle of Louisiana nowhere that have vices. They have people in the middle of Wisconsin that have vices. I mean, sometimes it doesn't help, but
come on, I know this is your team. You a big Raiders fan. Come on, man. Darren Waller wasn't reliable. He had 2 great years and then boom, disappeared.
He also had some dinky-dunky quarterbacks.
Derek Carr was not dinky-dunky. Hold on, time out.
Watch that man with the Saints play garbage.
He was garbage with the Saints, but he wasn't garbage with the Raiders.
Okay.
This guy finished second in MVP 1 year.
Second in MVP?
Yeah.
Because he had Darren Waller.
No, I don't even think he had Darren Waller that year.
I'm just messing with you. We're going to mess around next, do some something or nothing on 560 WQAM. It is time to do a little something or nothing, where we get to some headlines and talk about whether it is something or nothing. Did want to say Jota, great player for Liverpool. He and his brother were in a car accident and died over the
Oh
week.
man, I was so sad to hear, bro.
Yeah, and a lot of Liverpool fans, not just Liverpool fans, human being fans and fans of soccer. Very, very sad. They did hold a funeral ceremony
Today, I think.
Yeah. Just thoughts go out to his family, and everyone near and dear to him. So,
And the other person, there was two
his
players.
brother, it was his brother. It was his brother that he
Yeah.
was in the car with. Yeah, I had misread the headline at one point. Thought just his brother had passed away, but then I was out and about, and people were telling me. So yeah, really touched a lot of people's lives. So we're with he and his family, and all the thoughts going out to them. The Dodgers, they were routed 18-1 in the worst loss at Dodger Stadium by the Astros. Is that something or nothing? I mean, who cares?
It is something. God, I hate to say this. Hey, you know what? I give the Houston Astros credit as an organization for a team that we know cheated, got caught cheating.
Okay.
Was saved by COVID so that the fans couldn't really give them the business that they deserved. They still came out winning a title after all the allegations and all the
Dusty Baker.
Right. And they're still competitive. They're still like the Astros over the last 10 seasons might have made the playoffs, maybe 8 or 9 of them. Maybe they've been what, 3 to 4 World
maybe the
Series?
best overall team of the past decade.
I got to give them credit.
But I mean, 18.
So even though 18-1 is something, it's something embarrassing if you're a Dodger fan on the 4th of July, by the way. That's nasty work. So that means you got to keep your ass there and watch the fireworks after seeing the fireworks on the field already.
Oh, that's painful.
Bombs were being let off in the diamond, and then you got to wait.
Tell your kids, man, there ain't no fireworks.
Nah, you just saw the fireworks. The Astros just had a fireworks show. All those home runs. Altuve hit
Probably
too.
a long-ass game, too.
Come on, 18-1? Boy.
Dodgers did their part.
I'm not going to lie to you. If I was the
Strike.
You're not making a comeback. Get out of here. Yeah, that's something. That's something disgusting and embarrassing for the Dodgers.
Zach, is that something or nothing right there?
Well, I think if we see this in a couple months and the Dodgers win the World Series, they're going to look back at this and say it's nothing. It was the biggest deficit in the history for both of those teams, I think, or I would assume at least. Our old Marlins friend Miguel Rojas got to pitch for the Dodgers yesterday. Towards the end of the game.
Wait, players definitely had a pitch yesterday.
Yeah, they only one inning. Well, another reason I'm going to give you nothing. The Dodgers had their 5th starter, a young guy. He let up like 10 runs. He let up 8. They had a reliever that let up 10 in an inning. He pitched 1 inning.
That's a bad ERA.
They kept him out there, just rolling him out there.
Eat some pitches.
Yeah, so I'll give you nothing because I think the Dodgers with the highest payroll, they're my pick to win the World Series.
Not all those.
Our dream is that the Marlins, for some way, shape, or form, make the playoffs and face the Dodgers. Well, you'd have the biggest payroll in Major League history against possibly the percentage-wise the smallest payroll in Major League Baseball ever. Bring it on. Max Verstappen, he wins the pole.
Yeah, baby.
At the British Grand Prix, which will be run tomorrow. Is that something or nothing?
It's something, baby. Something that we usually see every other Sunday.
I know. We used to see it.
We used to see it every Sunday. Now it's every other Sunday now.
Every once in a while.
Zach,
something or nothing?
I'll give you something. I used to hear his name all the time. I never watched the F1, but now that he's back, I'll give you something.
So this year has been a little off. He's at 3rd currently behind Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, but he gets the pole today, so some points going his way. There is a new Drake song called What Did I Miss? He takes aim at quote-unquote fake friends. Vlad, something or nothing?
What you miss? You missed nothing. You got shot. What you missed was Kendrick. That's what you missed. You missed on Kendrick. Listen, bro. Don't be emotional, Aubrey.
He's talking about fake friends.
So what? He's been a fake friend.
That what he did with Wayne.
You know what I mean? Like he's been a fake friend. You sleep with your man's girl, and you had a. Come on, man. Shut up, Aubrey. I'm sick of you now. I'm sick of it. Just make me good music, girl.
What if it is a good song? Are you going to say that Kendrick Lamar killed him so you won't even let him in the door?
No, I want Drake to come back. Everybody can make a comeback. Even Diddy. You all can make a comeback.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. But it's like this. However, Drake can feel however he should, right? But when the masses and the majority are letting you know something, just scale back, bro. The best thing he could have done is take time off and make the fans miss you. That's what it is. If you see something or hear something all the time, you get a little tired of it because it's all the time. But if it's something that you don't get, you'll appreciate it more. He's at that level right now, being on top of the game for over 10 to 15 years, that he doesn't have to do it all. Like, he doesn't, there's no need for him to come out every year.
Yeah, I would argue he has more number one singles or more top 10 hit singles than anyone ever.
Right.
So.
He doesn't have to do it. But you know what happens? Maybe when you're in a 360 deal, and everybody's got their hands on you in your jaw. Yeah. Think about it. The man said, "Oh, after one tour, all right, man, I'm tired. I've been touring too much." And then 6 weeks later, he's back on tour. That means you're being pimped. You're being pimped. And they want their money back. So get back on those corners, baby.
Have you heard the song?
On the stage. I heard it.
What
it's
is
nice.
It? It's nice?
It's all right. It's all right. It's nothing to go crazy for. It's all right.
Zach, you heard the song?
I have not, but I'm not a Florida Gator. I heard he threw him a bone. He said something. He's talking about some girl or something. She's all natty, like all natural, but natty and with like a Florida Gator, he said. That's a lyric.
That's a whack bar.
I agree. So I'll give you nothing.
That's a whack bar. Yo, his ghostwriters need to come up with better stuff. That's disgusting. She's all natty like a Florida Gator.
Man.
You could have said she all natty like a Buckeye. And you could have really made some rhymes after there. Yeah, like, come on, man. What are we doing here?
Oasis, first concert, 16 years in Wales the other day. Is that something or nothing?
Oasis did what?
First concert together in 16 years in Wales the other day. Something or nothing?
Yeah, it's something. You know, I like the Gallagher brothers. I like the fact that they fight each other.
They were cheering together, living the life, man.
All right.
Zach, something or nothing?
I'm a fan. I was at, I guess it was a couple of years ago. I was in Minneapolis, Minnesota United, the MLS club.
Right.
They sing Wonderwall after they win. They all hold up the scarves and stuff. So that was cool. I'll give him something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's Jay-Z's favorite group.
Yeah, he does love Oasis.
He doesn't love Oasis.
Oh, I thought he did.
No, Oasis.
Coldplay's who he worked with.
Yeah, Noel. I think Noel said that he was upset that Jay was performing at the I know I'm gonna not pronounce the word right. It's the big music festival. It starts with a G.
Glastonbury.
And he was the first non-rock and roll act to headline that concert. And obviously Noel wasn't very thrilled with that. So Jay opened the show with his
version of Wonderwall.
Wonderwall.
I remember that,
right?
yeah.
And everybody loved it. And they said it was one of the best performances that festivals ever had. And it led to other acts outside of rock headlining that. So, yeah. Hove.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, good stuff. What's it called? The Gallagher brothers don't hold their tongues, so you know that's happening. A landlord gets a note from his tenants demanding more weight-accessible accommodations. Something or nothing.
Stop eating too much. Wait, time out. How are you going to tell a landlord that you need to accommodate with your weight? Are they big? That tenant or the rest of the tenants?
No, just one tenant or a family.
Your mom or pop, like diet.
Well, the other thing is you can't just spring that on the landlord midway through your contract. Like you know,
knew what this
that's one of those things going into it. You might want to say, "Hey, I need some more weight accessibility."
Exactly, or maybe you were small when you went in there. Now you got big while you've been there.
How
about that?
Patats. So maybe we got a couple of different problems going on here.
Yeah, they're patats.
I don't know. Stupid story. Let's move on.
Stay away from that. An 8-year-old in Thailand.
Uh-oh.
He has been neglecting his family because he wants to talk to his dog, and he barks. He says he's learned how to communicate by barking with his dog. Something or nothing.
Damn, what kind of drugs were the parents using when they consummated?
We say send him back to the island. Yeah. Send him back to the island. Oh, you got to send him back to the island.
You can't send him. He's already in Bangkok.
But I'm saying if he were in a Haitian family,
oh no, he would definitely have to go back to the island. He would definitely. You want to talk to dogs? You barking at dogs now? You wilding.
Zach,
yeah, there's no way he's communicating. It's gonna be like you tonight, Dan, with the rest of the crowd.
That's a good shot there.
Nah, mi español es malo, hablo lento, por favor.
I don't know what you just said. You just say your Spanish is little, please.
That's not what I said, but that's okay. Close enough. I'll be out there, man. Look, I'll be there. Vlad knows sometimes, I have a couple beers and I think I can speak Spanish and understand Spanish at the same time.
Not the other day.
Well, so okay. Let me give you a little background story.
That was last Sunday.
Last Sunday, I went over to Giuseppe and Nathan's to watch the USA Costa Rica game. Of course, it went long, penalty kicks. So that means you go longer on drinking some beers. So I'm walking back at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and a guy in my neighborhood sees me wearing my USA kit and starts speaking to me like, "Oh, hey, great game. I wasn't really thinking." He's like, "I went and saw the Bayern Munich Flamingo game earlier today at Hard Rock," and I was like, "Oh, Hard Rock's a great place to watch games. You just go to the casino and everything." And then I didn't realize he was talking about who actually went to the game at Hard Rock Stadium. And then I go, "Vlad, maybe he was speaking Spanish," and I was just so hammered I thought I understood him. And Vlad was like, "He wasn't speaking Spanish." I was like, "Well, I was drinking, so maybe he was." That was my reasoning that I possibly did know and can communicate in Spanish.
Mind you, you're wearing an American USA garb all over you. So
mind you, the neighborhood that I live in is predominantly
Latin.
Spanish speaking.
Yeah.
So I possibly was speaking Spanish. I really hope that guy didn't recognize me, man, because that'd have been weird, man. That'd have been weird. I don't know where we're getting off that. Okay, we're talking about kids and barking at their dogs. Thailand. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Good. Last but not least, get a hold of this. Cult leader known as the Siberian Jesus, sentenced to 12 years for physically and psychologically harming some of his parishioners. Something or nothing.
12 years?
Yeah.
Time out.
These cult leaders don't play, man.
Listen, and I'm not making fun of any situation here, but a cult leader only got 12 years
for physical and psychological harm.
And they trying to get Puff for prostitution?
They tried to get him on more than that.
Well, they tried to get him on more than that, and then he was found not guilty. But they trying to give my man 10 years for prostitution.
Oh, 10 years. Okay, yeah. These cult leaders, man. So he's a guy in Russia and Siberia, and he says he is the resurrection of the Lord. And
now this guy's just talking gibberish right now. That's total loony. He's a loon. He thinks he's the second coming of Christ,
or third, or whatever you want to call it,
or third.
I've lost.
He thinks he is the son of Christ, the son of God himself.
He thinks he is God.
Okay, then that's it. You got to go. Dunzo. Finish him. He's got to go. 12 years? No. 12 years? No.
But I mean, you got to think 12 years in a Siberian prison is probably a little different than some of these country club prisons that people go to, right?
You said it's Russia?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Russia's tough.
Yeah.
But Siberia, that's bad. Like, if you try to escape, where you escape?
Yeah. I mean, you might be better off not escaping the prison. Like, the door's open, go. You're like,
I don't know if you saw the last Fast and Furious.
No, I haven't seen a lot of them.
I think it was Fast 10, the one with Aquaman as the bad guy. But towards the end,
oh, Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. He was pretty fun. He was pretty good. He was funny as hell.
Cool guy.
But towards the end, the beautiful Charlize Theron.
Oh yeah.
And the beautiful lady.
Okay.
I forgot her name. Michelle something. It's not Michelle Rodriguez, is it?
You got me, man.
Anyway, Letty and Charlize, their character, they're fighting each other. They're both in a quote unquote jail.
Okay.
Right? They fight each other, boom, boom, boom. Then realize, well, they're better if they pair up and instead of fight each other. And then when they escape, guess where they're at?
Siberia?
They're in Siberia.
That's tough, man.
They're in a boat in Siberia. They get to the top to get outside, and all you see is snow.
This is snow, yeah.
And ice. Which means, how the hell, where are you going? Where are you going?
Nowhere. I mean, the closest thing to like a human being probably from that prison was like 100 miles.
Where do you escape from? What 100 miles, bro? Where do you escape? Do you have clothes? When you're escaping, do you have the proper wardrobe?
No.
To wear?
No.
Because it's going to be like minus 30 degrees there.
Yeah. Well,
is there a summer in Siberia?
Don't know. I don't know. We can check the weather and patterns. I probably won't be visiting Siberia in my life. I mean,
can you even go do conjugal visits there for your man?
No.
Can he get conjugal visits?
No. I'm speaking out of turn, but no, man. No.
Why they don't give conjugal visits in Siberia?
Siberian prisons aren't known as very nice places. Let's just put it that way. Maybe one of the worst places to be in prison. I mean, I don't know the top 10 list. Actually, there's got to be a top 10 list, right?
Oh, Rikers has got to be up there.
Top 10 worst prisons.
Alcatraz.
Well, not anymore.
Oh, I mean, of all time or currently? That's the thing. You got to
Oh,
make
no,
sure.
no. We're going
Currently.
Let's see. Let's see. I know they got TV shows, so I don't want to get too deep, but let's see if there's anything. Oh, wait, they're giving me a map.
Give you a map of where not to go.
Yeah, where to stay away from. I don't see them in Siberia, so I see a couple here in the United States. One is New York. One looks like one looks like this must be all time because Alcatraz is all.
I told you.
They've got someone in the Middle East. That doesn't look fun. They got one in France. They got one down in Vietnam. Korea. Oh, yeah. I just prison's never a good place, so I would choose to not be in any prison, but I would try to avoid top 10 worst prisons of all time. That would just be me.
All right, so I see this. They have one in Brazil, one in North Korea.
Well, I could expect that. Okay, yeah, I see the list now.
Alcatraz, obviously.
They got one called Vladimir Central Prison in Russian.
There I go. You don't come to my crib.
Don't name some of these, please.
I can't.
You know this one's bad in Thailand. Bang Quang Central Prison. Bang Quang. Black Dolphin Prison in Russia. That's serious name. It's called Black Dolphin.
La Santé Prison in France.
I see that. That sounds like a what do you call it?
Black Dolphin Prison. I see what you're talking about.
La Santé Prison in France.
Yeah.
Sounds like a rowing center. Like you have a spa.
What does La Santé mean?
Who knows? Let's see. Camp 14 in North Korea. You know that's tough when it's got a number on it.
It could be Santi, which is the stinking prison.
There you go. If you told me I was sentenced.
Yeah, La Santé is health. La Santé is health.
See, maybe it's a health spa. Maybe they got it confused.
But it's a prison.
Maybe it's a health spa. Maybe they got it confused. What about this Red Onion State Prison in the USA? Red Onion State Prison.
That's not good.
Not good. What's the state prison here in Florida?
No,
not that you should know it off the top of your head.
No, I don't.
Angola is in Louisiana, and Angola is nowhere fun. They used to take us on field trips there because they wanted to scare us straight. But if I was sentenced to Bang Quang Central Prison, I would be very, very scared.
Damn, they used to do guillotines executions at that French prison.
And the number one, at least on this list of worst prisons, Muhanga Correctional Facility in Rwanda. Pick and choose. Which one you want, guys?
Yeah, I ain't going to Rwanda.
Okay, so Stark, my friend Seth says Stark is Florida's prison. Stark State Penitentiary. Oh, Seth also sent me, apropos of nothing, that the Mets have called up a pitcher by the name of Dickie Lovelady.
I did see. No. He's right. I did. He pitched yesterday. Lovelady was getting rocked.
Dickie Lovelady?
That's his name.
Well, there's some type of connection between Dickie Lovelady and the worst prisons in the world, but I just can't seem to put them together right now.
You're bad.
Let's get this final hour of the show. We're going to talk a little Marlins in just a little while, so hold tight. We got a team. We got a team down here in South Florida. It's not the Savannah Bananas. 560 WQAM.
Sure, I do.
It has been a Saturday of fun here at 560 WQAM. My cousin Vladimir Lewisan, our job shadower Zach Horowitz on loan. It's like we're like a soccer team on loan from Indiana University. Myself, Dan Day. 4th of July weekend. It's been kind of cloudy and overcast. But we got it going on, man. News Cafe was banging yesterday, too.
I got to go back, man.
There's nothing better, man. You have some good food. People watching is, whew. I don't get this now. I don't want to get too far off the sports. I don't get the guys and girls. They come off the beach just with a bathing suit. Literally, no shoes, no towel, just a bathing suit, not a shirt, nothing. Like, do you literally walk out of your hotel or your house just bathing suit?
I have no problem. The ladies walk in with bathing suits. We should never judge and tell
Your
them what
shoes.
to do.
This concrete can get hot.
Eh?
That's the scenery in South Beach still to this day is interesting and awesome. I would expect nothing less, you know.
I like.
Man, just sit back, take your time, have some food. I didn't even drink yesterday because, I had a long night ahead of me at Duffy's, and I didn't want to get ahead of myself, especially on 4th of July weekend. But, man, it's killing, man, killing. The people that work there are fantastic. Yeah, you get on there. We got a couple field trips, we got to do. We still got to go
I got to go to concerts this week. I got to go to concerts.
We got to go to Rose of Sky for a happy hour. It's one of the best rooftop bars with a great happy hour.
We can only do it on a weekend.
We can only do it Saturday. Sunday's no happy hour.
So we would have to do it like one day after the show.
I wouldn't mind run down to the South Beach, a little news cafe, maybe a little lost weekend or something like that.
The more you keep on saying news cafe, and I'm like,
the food's
it's
dope.
been a minute since I've been there.
Because the service is dope, the food's dope, the drinks. I've had drinks there. Yeah, man.
All right, somebody from the week, one of my Monday through Fridays got to come with me.
Yeah. Everybody loves it.
I haven't thought about going down there.
We've been running around, so all of us went to a Marlins game this week, and we're gonna get to the Marlins in the next segment. This team is interesting, and when I say interesting, in a good way, they've been very interesting and good watch. By the way, we had a great watch. We had a great watch.
Let's give Dan Day a round of applause, Zach. Let's give him a round of applause. He finally went to a Marlin game and they won.
Yes.
I am 0-5.
Yeah, well, he's 2-13.
Yeah, he went to the one where they lost this week.
I went the night before when the umpire at second base decided not to jump out of the way of the ball. Did you see this?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And so they put the runner. So if you didn't see this, it was the 6th inning. The Marlins were down 2-1 with 2 outs. Kyle Stowers hit a ball 112 miles per hour off the bat, and it's a low line drive. The second base umpire is positioned in front of the infielders. So it hits him. The ball is automatically dead. So Jesus Sanchez, who would have scored from second, like 100% sure he would have scored from second, has to stay there. He doesn't even advance a base or two what he would have scored. So then it's first and second. Next batter strikes out. The Marlins ended up losing the game 2-1. But if the umpire was behind the infielders, if it hit him behind the infielders, it would have been a live ball.
Okay.
It's depending on the placement of the umpire. But I personally did not think he made too much of an effort. Maybe Emil Jimenez is his name. Maybe he's not as athletic as I would expect him to be.
I hate when you know the umpire's name.
I had to look it up.
Well, you got to call him out.
It's like Jim Joyce.
You shouldn't have your name known by even names. But these are the two travesties of that whole situation. Number one,
it stopped them.
It cost us a 10-game win streak.
It would have been the franchise record, and they ended up winning the series anyway. So that's 4 straight series wins. That was Atlanta at home, San Francisco and Arizona on the road, and then Minnesota. They ended up winning the rubber match the day after when you guys were there on Thursday afternoon.
They scored 3 runs early in the first, and then who's pitching?
That was Yuri Perez.
He pitched very well.
Jim.
He pitched very well. But something that we noticed, and our boy
Nathan.
worked with Nathan.
And Zach's brought this up a lot too.
And they don't go past 5 innings.
6 innings. Every pitcher 6 innings.
It's analytical based. I can't stand it. They have lost games because of this earlier in the season. This is a new manager also, so I'll lay back a little bit. But when you have a guy that has allowed 0 or 1 runs through 6 innings, you have to use the eye test. Like, he can go out there. If he lets up a hit, he's getting hit hard, you can take him out. But you don't take him early, especially when your bullpen is, let's say, bottom 10 in the league. They've been really good as of late.
I mean, Yuri Perez went 6 innings, 1 hit. That was it.
70-something pitches.
Yeah,
He's
and they
done.
took him out. And like, you didn't even wonder if they were going to bring him back for the 7th. You knew Clayton McCullough was going to pull him out. He did. It worked out, but still.
Yeah, and the night before I was there,
Ooh.
Edward Cabrera pitched 7 innings, allowing 2 hits, 0 runs.
They let him pitch 7.
They let him go 7, but after 6, his 2 hits he allowed was a double against the shift, so it would have been a ground ball to the third baseman, and the other one was an infield single. So he practically had a no-hitter. And I was worried watching at home that they were going to show the image of the bullpen with someone loosening up. But they didn't. They let him go, and Anthony Bender came in, who will be on the trade block. He's unbelievable stuff. So he was the 8th inning guy. They had Ronnie Henriquez, who's another guy, close it
He's
out.
our closer now.
He's been incredible. So I guess now I'm moving into trade deadline stuff. Anthony Bender, Ronnie Henriquez, and Calvin Fauché. They're 3 bullpen arms that will get looks in the deadline. And then I guess they have 2 starters in Sandy and Edward Cabrera that could be dealt.
Edward Cabrera's been great. Another guy who's really been strong in this rotation is one Jansen Junk.
Oh God, your boy. I can't knock it.
He wasn't on record, right? In the loss the other day, right? He had already been pulled out because they don't go past 6 innings.
Yeah, he pitched 5.
Okay, he pitched 5. Could have been. I don't know. I'm just saying.
He has good stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I got to tell you one thing about this guy that I really appreciate. He throws strikes. The other day, I saw a stat about it, but then just the game that I was at, he threw 66 strikes and 20-something balls.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, his ratio is incredible. He'll let him put the ball in play.
In the zone, man. In the zone.
And yeah, I mean, especially in a day where you see so many strikeouts and low scoring games. And I still did see a low scoring game that day when they lost 2-1, but he lets him put it in play. There's some action.
Yeah, he's got enough movement to keep him guessing at least this point in his career. So we'll see. Today, 4:10, Cal Quantrell going to be getting the start for the Fish as they do play the Brewers. And as Vlad said earlier, the Brewers are a good team. So going out, man, if you get some chances.
That's what I'm going to see. If they win this series, I mean, you're talking about 3 out of the 5 series that you've won, the 5 straight series you've won, 3 have been against teams that are in position to make the postseason.
Right. We'll see.
So going back to the original question you asked earlier to start the show, in around noon, are they going to be buyers? Are they going to be sellers? Because we're in July 5th right now.
Yeah.
So guess what? The trading deadline is July 31st.
And one more question too to ask you, Vlad, because we've been kind of discussing it, and we're going to get more into Marlins and what they're doing now, is who's going to be, and we're going to assume only one All-Star just because they are the Marlins. Who is their All-Star? Who's going to be their representative, you think?
I think it's the leadoff hitter, bro.
Oh, you think it's Xavier Edwards?
Yeah, I think it's Edwards.
I think it's Kyle Stowers, because Kyle Stowers has been hit for average. He's had some big wins. But you can make it. I mean, I definitely could make a case for Xavier Edwards.
My ideal scenario, and I think that this has a good chance to play out. Kyle Stowers has the statistics. So on paper, I think he's the guy. I want Augustin Ramirez, who has hit 13 home runs, and he hits the ball over 100 miles per hour almost every time he swings the bat. I want him to be in the home run derby. In a small sample size, I think he has a chance. And I want Kyle Stowers to be the all-star.
Okay. Kyle Stowers, and he's also had some pretty memorable walk-offs. Day one, opening day, he did that. He had the Grand Slam walk-off.
And then
he's had some big ones.
Yeah, the Athletics. That was the Grand Slam against Mason Miller, who threw an 103-mile-per-hour fastball. He went up and got it, and that was a big win. I mean,
also, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I would love to see all these guys, but I could even make an argument for Jesus Sanchez kind of leading this team and kind of doing a lot of the glue stuff. And other than that, Eric Wagman's had a good year so far. I like Jansen Junk. I don't know if he has a large enough sample size to get into the All-Star game. That would be.
See, this when I hear these names and I think about this is very similar to the 2023 team so they had Jazz Chisholm, they had Luis Arias, Jake Berger, Josh Bell. Those are guys that across the league, who they are. This team has the same record that they did.
Wow.
Except that they're just younger guys. You just don't know them. The name brand, the name value is not there.
It's a good watch, though. I'm not going to lie. Lately, it's been a good watch.
So I think what Zach said is really true. It's going to be between 2 guys. It's between my guy, Xavier Edwards, and Kyle Stowers.
Okay.
Edwards is leading the team in batting average at 288. Starr was leading the team in home runs with 15. Starr was leading the team in RBIs with 45. Edward leads the team in on-base percentage, and he leads the team with hits. So if you're looking at it, it's between one of those two, or it could be both, considering how they play towards the end
You
of the
never
season.
know, yeah.
And players get hurt that might make the team, and then you got to replace them.
They look at it like positionally also, like when they're making the team, they don't want 3 second basemen.
Right.
So like Kyle Stowers, he's not going to start for the National League, obviously.
Oh no.
And he would, if he is in the game, he'll get one at bat, and that's it. No one wants to see him.
Right.
Across the league.
It's not a huge name. Yeah,
No.
I know.
So, I mean, if they were to throw like Xavier Edwards in there when they have 1 second baseman and that's all, then he can get some playing time.
Some solid hitting. Yeah. All right. No, cool. We'll see. We'll figure it all out. Inter Miami, Lionel Messi has made the trip to Canada. They play Montreal CF 7:30 tonight. That is their first MLS game.
Apple?
That is an Apple game.
Gotcha.
May 31st was the last time they played an MLS game. It was a big win against the Columbus Crew, 5-1. So maybe keep, as weird as it sounds, keep that good momentum going from a month ago. I don't know. Tua Tagovailoa, he's been ranked the NFL's 91st best player on the NFL Top 100. Last year, he was ranked 36 at this time. We've talked about it, Vlad. Wonder where Tyreek Hill falls this year, because he's not going to stay at number 1.
I think he should fall in the 70s, but it might, come to think about it after 3 hours talking to you guys, it might not be that much of a fall, because the players love Tyreek.
Right.
So, but I do believe he should have the highest drop. Because if you're telling me that Tua was 33 last year and he's 91, that's a 58.
He was 36.
Oh, he was 36 last year.
Same. Well, I mean,
55. You just added 2 more.
Yep.
It's a 55 slot drop. So Tyreek was number 1 last season, and his year going into last season, and his year was not great in 2024. I think he should be in the. To be fair, he probably is in the 50s, 60s.
Okay. I think he's still in the mid-30s. I still think he's in the mid-30s, just because of his speed and the.
I'm just going by who played well last season.
Right.
I'm not talking about overall. If we're talking about last season, I don't think he was one of the top 50 best players in the league. So we will see. But I wouldn't be shocked. Here's a better question. How many other Dolphins players do you think are going to be on this top 100 list?
By the other lists that have been coming out, none, because Jalen Ramsey was the only other guy that was making some of those preseason lists of the top 100.
Who had a better season, Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill?
I'm talking about Jalen Ramsey.
I know, but I'm asking you who had a better season in your mind.
Last year?
Yeah, Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle, he had a rough year last year, man. To the point where he wasn't doing the Waddle when he scored touchdowns and stuff like that, because he even said it's not time to be doing all that. So, U.S. men's national team rivalry renewed versus Mexico. That is tomorrow, 7:00 for the Gold Cup final. Definitely going to be locked in for that. That might be one of those days where you have. Well, I was going to say go buy some Dos Equis, but now I can't support Mexico in that, so I'm going to have to buy some American beer, man. American beer, because you can buy those. It's a really good deal. You can buy those little baby kegs at the store for like $22, and it gets you like 22 pints. I'm like, man, that's something right there. The only problem is you got to try to drink, well, not for yourself, but for the party. You have to put down 22 pints in like 2 hours when that's soccer, How can you, Vlad, maybe you can enlighten me on this. They have the odds for the U.S. men's and Mexico game. It's a Gold Cup final, mind you. And I'm trying to find the odds real quick. So, okay, Vlad, answer me this. USA, Mexico. Mexico's a favorite, plus 150. USA, plus 210. How can you bet on a draw being plus 195?
You can,
because it's just a draw in regulation,
right? Because all of these wins is in regulation.
Okay, so it all depends on regulation,
right? So like if you bet on Mexico, you're betting on Mexico to win.
So if it goes to PKs, your bet is null.
It's a tie game.
Oh, so you bet? Okay, that's right. Okay, so that makes sense. So thank you for enlightening me. See, that's why I asked. So this is all based on regulation.
It's all based on regulation, because the Gold Cup goes straight to penalty kick.
Yeah, it's straight PK.
There's not extra time.
I like the extra time. Now on a Sunday when I got to get up for Joe Rose, I don't like the extra time.
I love extra time.
I love extra time. It's so exciting.
Yeah, you get to see 2 15-minute halves, and you get to see who's really the best team and who's really in great condition and when to utilize your substitutions and when not to utilize your substitutions.
And there's nothing more exciting than in extra time, someone gets a quick goal and you think it's over. Then the other team scores again. Oh my goodness. And if it's your team that scores the second time, the equalizer, you're like, oh, thank God. Oh, it's good. It should be a good game.
There's nothing worse than you scored a goal
and then
early and extra time, and then you take out your best player because you're thinking, all right, let me
put a defensive guy,
and then the other team scores, and now that best player can't be used.
Right.
Penalty
now you got some second line guys being PK kickers, but that's how it is sometimes. Man.
Yeah.
That's how it is. USA's been doing so far so good with this quote unquote B team, as they like to call him. Tyler Adams, though, he is the captain of the team and he is playing actually. So we're happy to hear that. Couple of more headlines to get to. We're going to talk about the Heat. They conducted talks on Bradley Beal. Those talks have dissolved. We'll see what happens with that. Heat do open summer league today against the Spurs at 4:30 in California. That should be on NBA TV. You're not going to get much of that locally. You're not going to get it here on the flagship station of the Heat either. We are not going to be doing that. Joey Chestnut, Mickey Sudo, they won the hot dog eating competition yesterday. I don't even know if you can bet on that anymore.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can?
Mm-hmm.
God, you must get terrible odds for. I mean, when I say terrible, like you'd have to bet 1,000 to win.
Nah, it was like Prospects had a good Joey Chestnut, like over 62.5 hot dogs. That was easy.
Oh, you could do the props.
You could do the props, yeah.
There's no money line like on Joey Chestnut.
Somebody's gonna be favored. So, like, what are you gonna take? Joey Chestnut? Joey Chestnut is gonna be like a overwhelming favorite.
You have to spend 1,000.
You probably have to spend like $1 million to get $10. You have to bet $1 million to get $10 to win $10.
Not worth it.
Just clearly not.
I like a sure thing, man. I like a sure thing.
You know, you have to know these major league eaters to like try to parlay. Like, oh, I'll take Joey Chestnut and like so and so. Because when they were, you know, you got to when they're doing the introduction, you got to give them their accolades. Like, oh yeah, he set the world record in eating the most jalapenos.
Yeah, they have those weird like he's eating the most Mexican cornbread in a 10-minute span than anybody in the world. I'm like, well, there is a record for that? Like, okay. Chelsea did defeat Paul Metis 2-1 yesterday in FIFA World Cup, Club World Cup. PSG defeated Bayern Munich 2-0. They're having a great year, like Glad said.
This is the best. They're having the best summer I've seen in a football club have in a long time.
I'll say this is the best PSG's ever done.
No, this is the best PSG team ever. But to think about, you win the Champions League, right? You won the Champions League, which is the biggest tournament outside of the World Cup, but biggest tournament for soccer clubs. And then now they created a tournament where all the best soccer clubs, all the soccer clubs that won their division, their league, are playing in a tournament where if you win, you get money. Every win adds more money to your earnings or more money.
Yep.
So therefore, they can win the Champions League and then nearly win $10 million in another tournament.
$10 million. You won $125 million.
Right, but I'm just dividing it among the players.
Yeah, well, you also have to divide it with your league and all that. There's like, sharing and everything.
Yeah,
like
but I mean, dude, they're leaving because I don't think you make that much money winning a tournament and all that. Some of that stuff. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I got to find out. I don't know how much you get for earning.
For winning Champions
right,
League?
like if you win a World Cup, how much money you think the players get?
Ooh, yeah, it's nice. It's nice though.
So, but this one, they're definitely giving you a bag for winning.
Yeah. So today at 4, you get Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund, 2 behemoths in the soccer world. So we shall keep an eye on that. And Wimbledon, Yannick Sinner and Iga Swiatek got wins today. The first day of Wimbledon was wacky and crazy. Coco Gauff, one of the casualties. Some of the better players were gone. Some of the favorites gone. And now it looks like it's kind of settling out a little bit.
Okay.
Something going on.
The winning team of the FIFA World Cup earns a substantial prize, with the 2022 winners, Argentina, led by Lionel Messi, receiving $42 million.
A player? Or no, the whole team?
I think the whole team.
Okay, that makes sense.
The total prize money pool for the 2022 World Cup was $440 million, with various amounts awarded based on performance. For example, the runner-up received $30 million. Third place received 27. And fourth place got 25. So you're going to get paid. Soccer's paying.
Inter Miami on this tournament alone made almost $25 million.
Soccer is paying.
It's not going anywhere.
No, it's not.
Is that what you're telling me? The soccer sport is sticking around?
Soccer is paying money, man.
Maybe we should focus more on the United States on making our great athletes soccer players too. That would be cool. You could get like a Deion Sanders situation where he plays American football and football. That'd be cool. Just saying.
That's a lot of money, man.
I know.
And this is their off season, mind you.
right for Europe.
For Europe, for a lot of these club
For a lot of
teams,
people,
yeah.
it's not MLS. Inter Miami, they got to get back to. They got 4 games in hand for the rest of the league. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. A family is refusing to pay their 15-year-old babysitter because they claim she comes to work too scantily clad. Mm-hmm.
So what does that have to do with taking care of
They
the
don't want. They
babysitter?
don't want that. It's bad. Not
So just tell her that you don't want her to come, or just tell her that you like her to be
I think
fully dressed.
I think they're just trying to get out of paying her.
But yeah, if I already, you can't tell me you're not paying me if I already did the service because of my wardrobe. That's crazy.
And also, she probably lives 2 houses down. You can just tell her, "Yo, go home and change."
Right. Unless she had to get a ride or something like that. Like, yeah, that's just
Give her a blanket.
Why don't you watch your child? How about that? Watch your own child.
Yeah. How about you not go out and get
Yeah.
lit up at martini hour?
Yeah.
and-
How about you don't go out scantily clad and try to go out? Yeah. Why don't you watch your child?
We're going to talk more about these Marlins next. They got something going on, but is it sustainable? We'll find out. 560 WQAM. Miami Marlins taking on Milwaukee Brewers today, 4:10. Cal Quantrill going to get the start. Team has been one of the best in baseball over the past 10 or so games. They did drop a game yesterday with Sandy Alcantara pitching 6-5, but it was a nail biter at the very end. I'll tell you, we went and saw this team on Thursday. They got a 4-1 win over the Minnesota Twins. And Vlad, this team looks different from the team that we were watching earlier in the year. It seems like they kind of have more of an identity.
Definitely. Clay McCullough's doing a good job. We got to give him props for that. Clay McCullough in his first season as manager of the Marlins. He's got this young team playing very well, play hard. They don't quit.
They have a lot of confidence. They kind of seem like they have their identity now. Like earlier in the year, they kind of seemed like they were searching for
They're gutty.
They're gutty, and they seem like they're a team that, number one, they know they're going to get their hits. They just need to get the timing and, get the right hit at the right time. Their pitching seems to be solid. Their fielding is definitely solid, at least for most of the parts that we've seen. And like now you have the confidence. Thursday when we got there and we got up 3-1 in the first inning, I never really sweated it. You could see the way they were playing. It wasn't like a team that was trying to hold on to a 3-0 lead. It was a team that was walking away with a 3-0 lead. And, maybe that they kind of found something. Now it's a long season. There's going to be ebbs and flows, but a team that now they got Augustin Ramirez, who can give them a little bit more power, and Stowers has been great, Stower power. But they have the timely hitting. They have solid pitching. They rely on their analytics, maybe sometimes a little too much, but nonetheless, now they seem like they know their role. Kind of get everything going. And of course, you do have confidence when you're winning a lot of games and you got a huge winning streak. But really, I was impressed with the team. I wouldn't say they were night and day from some of the games we went to earlier this year, Vlad, but I would say they were a different team.
I mean, we've surpassed the halfway mark. So when we saw them earlier, it was just early in the season. They started still getting their feet wet. Now you surpass 81 games, you kind of know what your team is, at least this version of the team. Now you are 39-47.
Woo. On June 11th, they were 25-41.
Last year?
This season.
No, this season. On June 11th. Wow.
So June 11th.
25-41, and now they're 39-47.
Wow.
So they went 14-6, maybe?
Yeah, they've won 14 in their last 20.
Yeah,
exactly.
So right now they're back in the wild card race.
Here's the craziest
as
thing.
Crazy as it is.
You want to talk about something else crazy about this team? Your two worst pitchers are your number 1 and number 2, Sandy Alcantara and Max Meyer this season. Think about that. Your two worst statistical pitchers
is your best pitchers.
We're supposed to be your best pitchers. And one of them, Max Meyer, unfortunately out for the season with a hip injury. And you're still doing this.
For the last few years, the Marlins struggled to give Sandy Alcantara any run support. And then now that he is getting the run support, he's not performing like himself.
Yeah.
But back to the record thing. If you told me, I guess, let's just say June 11th, that's when they were at their worst, 25-41. They have now surpassed the Atlanta Braves and are third place in the division.
That is correct.
And they beat them in the series down here. And then went on the road where they beat San Francisco and Arizona, and they averaged 8 runs per game in that 6-game span.
And then the Twins, like I said, could have been another sweep, but you got the whole umpire ahead of the infielders. And then last night, tough game. Man, even that, like Marlins team in the past, you'd have been like, oh man, there's no way they're even going to try to make a comeback. They pushed it last night. They pushed it. And this team, like I said, like we saw earlier in the year, I say it's a lack of identity. They got a decent amount of hits, but they were all scattered all over the place. Now it seems like they're a little more.
Even with that, I mean, the first game of the season they had to come back. Well, that was a comeback victory. So that's what I'm saying. They were a gritty, gutty team. That was the identity I think we saw from them, and it just evolved over these over the last 80 games. I mean, everybody knows that there's ups and downs in a baseball season. They're probably going to be more ups and downs during the season, but the first 6 weeks, 7 weeks, more down. Last 3-4 weeks has been more up, and we're just hoping that it can continue because, especially down here with you're in the dead zone right now. If there's some good baseball, people will make the trip, especially during the summer. Kids are home, go down to the Lone Depot Park, watch quality baseball. It's been a long time since you've seen quality baseball.
First of all, we went to a quality game the other day, and what made it even more quality is that it was a 2-hour and 10-minute long
Oh
game.
my God.
So you like the pitch clock?
I
Or you don't?
love
You
it,
do?
love it, love
Zach,
it, love it.
Vlad, one of the few times Vlad was wrong. I was old school, a
Debatable.
curmudgeon. Hey, listen. One time Vlad's gonna say he's absolutely wrong.
That's not debatable.
Okay, I'm more right than wrong, but this time I'm definitely wrong. I thought that I wanted to be old school. I wanted I didn't care about the constant grabbing of shirts, your personal
Your
Jensen
junk.
junk, all of that. No, I love it. We got there early, and I'm looking at the game. I'm like, did they just finish the first 4 innings in less than an hour? And then the next 4 innings in another hour? I looked at Dan. I'm like, Dan, we could leave here by 2:30.
I said, nah, no way.
We left here by 2:23.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the same amount of action packed into a shorter time frame.
Yeah. And if you got a guy wheeling like Yuri
And
Perez
Yuri was wheeling.
it's
Like I didn't even have time to do my little walk around the park, just to admire the scenery.
I always like a lap.
I love the
Pre-game
lap. Oh, I love the lap. I love the lap around to see the scenery.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
This is the other thing. You know how we do redrafts and how, midway through the NCAA tournament, you repick and do all this stuff. I want to readjust my success barometer for the Marlins this year. I said anything below 99 losses is a successful season. Now I'm saying a successful season would be as long as we're hovering. And when I say hovering, within 10 games of 500, that would be a successful season for this Marlins team. I am reassessing my successful season for the Marlins, Vlad. Would you like to reassess possibly what you might think is a successful season for this Marlins now that we have a larger sample size?
As long as they lost less than 100 games.
So you're staying with it?
Yeah, I'm staying with it. Because, it's still the Marlins. They can go left. You know what I'm saying?
They can go south, yeah.
They can go south, and they could let go. They could trade players.
That's true. I didn't think about the trade deadline.
So,
still,
I'm not going to they're 8 games below 500 right now. If they can be 4 games below 500 by the end of next Sunday,
and they have favorable series coming up as well.
Don't say that.
I'm in on the Marlins propaganda to try and get back to 500 and in the race. But
so Zach, a successful season now that we know halfway through the season for the Marlins would be.
So I opened the season saying the same. Last year they were 62 and 100, like exactly 62 and 100. So I wanted to win 99 or lose 99 games or less. Right now, I think 10 games under 500. Is that reasonable?
Yeah.
I
would say that's a successful season. Now, this is coming from a team that a lot of people said could be in the running to break the record for the worst record of all time in Major League Baseball. A team that had 1 star, Sandy Alcantara, who's coming off Tommy John surgery. A team that paid so little for players that they actually got a opposite of a bizarro luxury tax. They were taxed for not spending enough money. And we're sitting there, a team that told us this, we're going to relish being underdogs. That's loser talk. And we're spending money on science, and we're spending money on technology and not so much players. Every reason to believe that this team was not going to be a superstar. I didn't come out here like I did a couple of years ago and say this team has a chance to make a playoff. And they did make the playoffs that year. I didn't say all that. This is a team now that you look at it and you say, there's no way they're going to get to 100 losses this year. They're going to find a way to have a decent record.
Rookie manager,
yeah,
just young team. So you're thinking that they're gonna take their bumps and bruises, but they took it, bounced back, and now they're giving out bumps and bruises.
Honestly, they're glad you were there from day one. Day one was kind of eye-opening. Like, this team, it does have fight, and they're not just going to buy into what all these other people said, because a lot of people were like, they're going to get swept, they're going to lose the first 8-10 games of the year like they did last year, and we're just going to be downward from there. They went out there and gutted it out against Paul Skeens, first game of the year, I understand, but they got that walk-off win from Kyle Stowers, and it just kind of set a tone. I really think it set a tone where you're like, well, this team's going to fight, and they can play with these other teams, even though Pittsburgh's not very good. Nonetheless, I really think that set a tune.
By the way,
set a tone.
Here's another thing. This is what's good about the Panthers. Not Panthers, Marlins season. They're actually more of the surprises of the Major League Baseball season than the disappointments. Because you just said the Pirates. Pirates to me is one of the biggest disappointments of this Major League season so far. While the Marlins right now, after Zach just let us know after the last 20 games, they've won 14 out of them. They finished, if they're 4 games below 500 going into the All-Star break. That's one of the biggest surprises of this Major League Baseball season 2025.
And they're not gonna buy, but they're not totally. I think they're minor sellers is how I would classify it. They'll get rid of
But what if Sandy's available? What if?
Okay, let me tell you this real quick. Sandy Alcantara, he's gone and he's going to the New York Yankees. They just lost Clark Schmidt for the year to Tommy John.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Boone just said it right now.
There's not too many. Like the pitcher market is really slim, and the Marlins have 2 starters in that if they want to trade Edward Cabrera as well or Sandy, depending on the value. And then bullpen arms too. It's a small market, and Peter Bendix, who is the general manager of the Marlins, he runs this market right now. So, I mean, it's all up to him on who he wants to give up, who he gets back in terms of the age of prospects and how far they want to compete.
Hey, Jeet, I need you to talk to some of your peoples back in the Marlins organization. We need a deal for Sandy, buddy.
So Vlad, you're all in on Sandy.
I've been all in on Sandy since
you have been since day one, or pre day one, since spring ball.
Since spring ball, I'm like, yeah, okay.
I think Sandy would be really good in a big market.
Oh yeah, absolutely, especially a market like New York, where he could feel, I mean, he feels at home here, but it's good.
And he's not going to be the number one guy there.
Doesn't have to shoulder all that.
He doesn't have to shoulder to being the ace of the staff. He just needs to be the right hand balance to Max Fried's left hand dominance. That's all. Left hand pitching dominance.
We can all agree.
Well, then they got Garrett Cole back in the following year or 2.
Yeah, we'll get Garrett Cole back next season, where he doesn't have to feel the pressure of being Garrett Cole the ace. He can just get himself right because we have the pitching
and then
depth.
My Marlins can fleece your New York Yankees farm system. Yes. Yes.
Did you fleece us last
A
time?
little bit of cash. You can send a little cash our way too.
We'll send you cash. We got a boatload of cash.
I'll take Augustine Ramirez over Jazz Chisholm every day of the week.
There you go.
So I think the Marlins win the trade already.
I love Jazz. Jazz has done great.
You like him in his 215 batting average
He's
or something?
He's giving me 18 home runs, baby. He's giving me 15 home runs.
Torpedo bats.
Torpedo bats, the short porch at Yankee Stadium.
Batting average doesn't mean anything now in Major League Baseball.
That is one thing that bums me out about baseball, is that the batting average has gone the way.
It is no longer getting hits don't mean nothing. It's either you got to get extra base hits or get walks.
So this was one thing I was talking about the other day when I was at the Marlins game. Next to the last names on the scoreboard down the column, it used to be batting average. Right. Now it's OPS.
Yes. And you also gave us this, that although Sandy Alcantara in our eyes has not performed well this year, logistically and statistically, the numbers that tell the story behind the scenes, he's actually, by the numbers, doing very well.
Yeah, he is the leading starting pitcher in expected ERA. His ERA is 7. His expected ERA is supposed to be 2 points lower. So he's expected to have a 5. So I don't know.
Good luck with that.
But that's why other teams will still be high on him, because his stuff is still there. He's just missing his spots, I'm
sick of analytics.
Yeah, I agree. But the Marlins are an analytic-driven team.
There's another word for analytics. All right, backside analytics. All right, it's ridiculous.
Well, Vlad, you might get Sandy Alcantara, and
I love it. Listen, I love Sandy, but I don't want to hear anything about he's
expected.
Expect that. What? You expect this smack? Wow! Like, come on. Did you expect that? No. You're telling me about expected ERAs. No, I want to see
the baseball world.
I'm sick of the baseball world and these analytics everywhere, all the sports. My eyes are good,
I will tell you, at Funky Buddha, I do trivia there every Monday night. A guy came by and he had like pictures of all these different ballparks, because I had asked a baseball question, and he's like, I'm a scout for the Marlins. And I looked at him, and dude, you could have fooled me. I thought he was an IT guy or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
that probably works. It probably fit the description.
The analytics. Yeah, that's the way the game has gone, I guess. I don't know. I do expect one thing. We got one more segment, and you're going to get the best of it next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM. Yeah, you know what that means. It is time to finish this thing out on a Saturday. It is soccer time. It is baseball time here in the United States of America. And a little bit of WNBA time. Vlad was telling me there's a big WNBA matchup tonight. You might even have an eye on it.
Caitlin Clark in the Fever versus the LA Sparks and Kelsey Plum.
Man, Caitlin Clark is expected to play. So
there's a rumor. There's this thing going on that the Fever play better without Caitlin Clark.
They don't sell better than Caitlin.
They don't sell. They're not selling seats without Caitlin, but they seem to play better when she's not there.
They've got some actually pretty decent players on that team. I was watching the other day. They got some players that are leading the leagues in the top 10 and rebounding.
I gotta do my research on Sophie Cunningham. She seems to be like the thug of the roster, but you know, she's pleasant for the eyes.
Oh, well, see, that's what you want.
Yeah, they got a crew called Trey Leches, the three whites.
Ooh,
the three white milks.
Ooh, sounds like the Miami Heat.
Trey Leches.
Trelicious.
Yeah.
Trelicious?
Trelicious.
Ah.
It should be Trey Leche, but but they're girls. So it's like Trelicious.
Ah, very nice. So I told you tonight I'm going to see a Spanish rock band
from
the 80s.
The Spanish Beach
Boys. Here is a before picture from them in their heyday. That's
Beach Boys.
If you're watching on YouTube
Am
and
I
Twitch,
wrong?
this is their heyday picture. Okay. Now here is their picture today.
Yeah, the Beach Boys, the Spanish Beach Boys, as I expected them.
Dan, which one's your favorite?
I like the guy with that funky look. No. I like the guy on the end with the blue jean jacket because he looks weird.
You could tell the lead singer is the guy.
He looks like
in the black.
Robert Downey Jr., but older and Latin.
Yeah. Have fun, bro.
I don't know which one I like more for the old school. I like the dude with just the polo. He looks like he's a frat boy.
What, the green one?
Yeah.
The green?
It's easy to go for the guy with the hat, you know, like he's kind of like doofy. And then
Have fun, bro.
The guy with the glasses looks like the Latin version of Matthew McConaughey. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
How do you say all right in Spanish?
Say that.
All right.
Should be a good one right there. So yeah, so I'll explain to it tomorrow because we'll be back tomorrow from noon to, I was going to say noon to 7, but
whoa. Is there something I don't know?
I've got plenty to cover tomorrow. Noon to 7, nonstop. We'll go in depth to every soccer game, every Major League Baseball game.
That's how he says it. Está bien.
Está bien. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Está bien. Hola. Uno cerveza? ¿Cuánto cuesta?
Gotta get that
$20. That $17 beer is going to be so $17.50, by the way. So sweet tonight.
Zach Casella, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Hit your boy up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I should hit him up. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be there because he speaks Espanol.
Yes.
Colombian friend.
Yes.
See. Start practicing. My favorite is they speak to me in Spanish because why would I be going to the concert if I didn't know Spanish? So they start giving me directions like, with security, and I'm like, holy goodness.
They don't realize you're a gringo?
Nah, man, I'm Argentinian. They think. I had a guy last night. He's like, man, you're Argentinian. You know how these things are. I go, yeah, man. I understand.
Come on. Were you rocking Boca Juniors merch?
Yeah, but maybe that would
that might have been it. Maybe you rocking Boca Junior merch. They thought you were
Argentinian, man. That's me right there. I don't argue with people anymore. I just agree. Like, oh, you're Argentinian, yeah. You're from Kendall, aren't you? Yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
Crazy.
You still work at 1027 The Beach? Yeah, man. Look, me and Kenny Walker and Gabby.
La
Playa, man. 70s, 80s, 90s, and more.
See.
All day long. So, Vlad, you're going to watch some WNBA action tonight?
Yeah, man. Dude,
give me that Caitlin Clark over and under.
I don't know. I might take the under. She hasn't scored at all.
Zach?
She's been playing piss poor.
Well, she hasn't even
know
playing.
She's playing.
She's supposed to come back from injury.
She's supposed to come back from this.
They won the other day without her.
Yeah, they won the Commissioner's Cup.
Yeah,
right.
They beat the Minnesota Lynx.
Which, come to find out, they make more money winning the Commissioner's Cup than they do actually winning the WNBA.
That's a travesty, though. I'm sorry.
Well, one tournament sponsored and the other is league owned.
This year, and now we're acting like we know a lot about the WNBA, which, we know enough about. This year, the finals is 7 games and not 5. Just throwing it out there. So you get your WNBA knowledge.
Get that money.
You need it. And they're expanding, too.
Are the Fever like the best team No, they're not.
No.
The Liberty are the best.
But the
team.
Liberty have been
and
on a losing streak.
and the Lynx.
But the Liberty have been on a losing streak. The Lynx are now favored to win the whole
Well,
thing.
Sabrina got hurt, so it's gonna take some time.
Okay, that's enough.
And Jonquel Jones got hurt, but that's all right. But listen, it's the Lynx and the Liberty. They should meet each other.
A rematch.
Yeah, it was last year's
Rematch. The finals. Wow.
You know who stinks though?
I don't.
Yes, you do. Because when I say it, you'll understand.
The Connecticut Sun.
No, the Las Vegas Aces.
That is true. They're having a rough year.
You saw his facial reaction just change.
Well, I was trying to go with the Dallas Wings, but Paige Beckers is actually having an unbelievable rookie year, and I've noticed they've started winning games. See, I catch all this at the gym when they show highlights. I don't really sit there, although I do love WNBA.
So this is what's funny about.
Yeah, finish strong, Glad.
This is what's funny.
Please
right?
finish strong.
So
You think 4 hours today is crazy? Let's get 7 hours tomorrow.
This is the last story before we go. Thanks for everybody listening and viewing on YouTube.
Wait,
and
stick
Twitch.
around. I want to hear what Vlad has to say.
So check this out. And it was so apropos.
Oh, good.
They show a picture, right, of a man and a woman.
Okay.
And then on the caption goes, "Don't you hate when they start taking your sweatpants and your hoodies?"
I understand.
And it was a picture on the left of Aja Wilson working out in Miami Heat.
Oh,
in a Miami Heat warm-up pants, and it looked like the same pants Bam was wearing like not too long ago. So it started to me. Yeah, they always do take women. Why do you always take our hoodies? Why you take our sweatpants? Interesting,
Vlad. So you have the Bam Adebayo connection with Aja Wilson.
But they do. They always. It's true. Like why is my hood? You ever notice? Oh, I don't know if you rock hoodies like I do, but dude, every year I always ask myself, why am I rocking why I have to purchase a new hoodie? I bought hoodies and I only wear it 2 months in a year. You know why? Because somebody's always cold.
Man, that air condition can blast here.
It could be the summer and they want to wear a hoodie.
Blazing.
And they never want to wear their hoodie. No, they never want to wear
I've
yours.
never seen a woman buy a hoodie. Have you?
Yeah, they want to wear your
Why
hoodie.
would they need to buy a hoodie? They can just take yours.
Why? I like my hoodie. You don't put my hoodie back where you found it.
Hoodie's like an umbrella, man. Once it's gone, it's gone. Let it go.
No,
Let it go.
Nah, man. I love my Nike hoodies. I love my team hoodies.
Let it go.
Don't take my hoodie. Don't take my sweatpants either.
Let it go. Every good relationship, you got to have compromise, a.k.a.
Dr. Toboggan's right. You shouldn't be blasting through hoodies in Miami. No, I shouldn't have. No.
Every good relationship, it's compromise. And when I say compromise, you give, they take. Simple equation.
Sad, man. Sad.
I was going to make a joke about the WNBA and sports stars here in South Florida, but we'll save that for tomorrow.
Hey, man, don't knock it, man. We might get the Miami Soul back again. They're expanding.
That's what you call, I know, Detroit.
Philadelphia.
I know they're going to Portland. That's sooner than later. Man, tonight, Inter Miami, though, Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, they made the trip to Canada. Montreal CF, see if they can get back to their winning ways in MLS after almost, like 6 weeks they've been since they last played. We'll be back tomorrow to cover it all, noon to 4. For Zach Horowitz, for my cousin Vladimir Lewis, I am Dan Day. This has been Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Later, fools.
Later, slug.